That was Derezzed from the soundtrack of Tron Legacy by Daft Punk. Hello and welcome to the Films for Thought podcast.
First rule of Fight Club is, you do not talk about Fight Club.
You can't handle the truth!
We named the dog Indiana.
On Wednesdays, we wear pink.
You talking to me?
And here we go.
It's actually film, singular. Sorry, go on
I
with
don't
your
know
intro.
why it's pluralized in my notes. This week, the hype train is almost at the station. The Cargo, Episode 7. Tonight, we'll be discussing the cinematic prestige that is the original trilogy and what we most love about each of them. I'm your host, Connor Mulgrew. Joining me, as always, is my co-host, Jake Mulgrew, our producer, Katie Wheater.
Producer.
Okay, I had a little bit of word vomit. And this week's guest, Taylor Waltorton.
Hello.
As always, if you'd like to join in the conversation with us this week, you can reach us on Twitter at No, I'm reading the wrong note again.
Connor, you can get us on Twitter
such an
at
amateur.
FFT
At
underscore
FFT
podcast.
underscore podcast, or with hashtag FFT on blast if you still require a hashtag.
Dude, you've
you
just
got-
been off it this week. You're
I
like
don't know,
a
man.
whole different person.
This week has not been a good week. Not for me anyway. It has been for film.
Yeah,
If
we've
you
got
can't
so much-
stay all night, or if you decide that you rather... Oh no, I'm still reading the wrong notes.
What? Look, the point is,
Look,
if you can't stay,
if you
it'll be
can't
on
stay all
YouTube.
night, join us on YouTube tomorrow night at 6 p.m.
Maybe
Just
we'll
so-
have edited out all this tomfoolery.
Yeah, I know, right? Just
Do
search
honest.
for Film for Thought and look for the little white camera on the blue background.
Yeah.
How
I'm
many
gonna make it
times
a blue
can
camera
YouTube
so that
break her microphone. What is this?
What?
No, we're not breaking anything.
Like, I just have to watch Katie go, like, panic.
Yeah, she just panic every time we start talking.
That's literally all the time every week though. That's nothing new.
So I'm taking back the show because Connor appears to like just be word
I'm
vomiting
flustered
today
and just
completely.
I'm so sorry.
So it's my time to shine. Yeah, it's time
You
for the
underestimate
newsroom.
my power.
Time for the newsroom. So first up, for those who don't know, the way this part of the show works is we talk about the film news from the week. I mean, that's fairly self-explanatory. I mean, when I say news, forget it. You know. So literally, like I did the show notes this morning, and I was like, cool, I don't have to do anything for the rest of the day. And then the X-Men Apocalypse trailer hit, so I had to change my
yeah.
notes.
Yeah.
We all watched it, right?
Yep.
Yeah, obviously.
I think Katie hasn't, but
Katie, why?
Step up your game.
Step up your game, Katie. You're like the most vocal one of all of us.
I know, right? What have you?
If
You don't
you
even have your
haven't
mic
seen it-
next to you today.
if you
It's
haven't
not
seen
even-
it,
you've
how
not
will
even
we uphold the
pre-faded.
conversation?
We just don't know for Katie today. It's like, damn, I thought I was in a mess.
All right.
Okay.
So we got a lot of cool stuff in this trailer, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Were there any moments that stood out to you guys? I'll go to Taylor first. Because you seem very excited on Facebook when I saw you just put a Taylor. Just X-Men.
Yeah, it's literally how I found the trailer.
Yeah.
I think literally all of it.
No,
No.
favorite moment.
No,
just
my favourite
all
part has
good.
to be Bald Xavier. Oof.
It wasn't that great.
No, it was.
Why did they feel the need to like put that as like, you know how you usually have like, oh, the title appears on the trailer and then
Really exciting things.
and then yeah,
happen.
like a really exciting thing happens after it. Like why would they put
yeah.
like he's bald. Whoa.
Why
Oh my
not?
gosh, he totally looks like One Punch Man.
Yeah.
If anyone's a fan of the series, the anime series One Punch Man,
Yeah.
James McAvoy kind of looks like One Punch Man with a bald head.
I hope he's not listening.
Just-
Oh, sorry, sorry, James.
Here's
if
the
you're
thing,
listening.
like it looks really convincing and it looks good, but at the same time, yeah, I do think he looks like One Punch Man.
Yeah.
Sort of got the whole egg thing.
Connor,
going
what
on.
was your favorite moment for the trailer?
Oh man, for me it was the bit with like where he's crushing Xavier and he's getting like really
It's
huge.
so
and
cool.
like,
So I didn't think they
wow.
were gonna go with the whole
make him giant.
making giant, going small, and
But,
like being able
yeah.
to change
But it's
himself. But
great.
it excites me that they have gone with that
Oh yeah, no, it's
Like,
it's fantastic.
because it's like comic, and that's the thing. It kind of looks very comic accurate to.
Yeah,
and they,
and
so
he
they
looks
changed
he
the
looks
look
terrifying
of,
now.
They changed the look of Apocalypse.
Yeah.
because no one liked the weird Ivan Ooze looking.
Yeah.
thing.
Why was he so purple?
Why was he
He's
so
never
purple?
been
I
purple.
don't know.
Literally never. Always been like grey blue.
Yeah.
Maybe it was just a coloration issue with that poster.
It definitely wasn't.
No,
No, it
it
was
wasn't. I'm just trying to give him
genuine purple.
excuses, man.
Whoever saw the leaked one from Comic-Con, you knew it was just
Yeah, it was
genuine
purple.
And then everyone went, no. And he went, all right,
Yeah.
sorry.
My favourite moment was seeing all the new Horsemen. So for those who
Yeah.
don't know, Apocalypse controls the minds of 4 henchmen throughout time. He always has 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. And in this, the 4 characters are Storm, a young Storm played by I can't remember her
A
name.
woman.
Yeah, a woman. Archangel played by that kid from EastEnders.
Yep.
Psylocke.
Psylocke played by Olivia Munn, which also is like the most comic accurate thing I've seen in a very long time. Her costume, and then Magneto, who I assume will turn during the film.
Yeah.
Again,
how-
you know, in like every film.
Where do you stand on Wolverine not being?
In the film.
Is he not in the film?
Yeah, he's not in the film.
Oh man, I thought he just wasn't one of the Four Horsemen.
No, he's not
Are
in
you
the
sure?
film.
Is he not even cast in it?
No,
Oh,
he
man,
might
I
have
ha-
like a cameo, but he wasn't in first
Oh.
class, was he?
No, true.
Can I tell you what?
Well, he had a
excites
cameo in first.
I'll tell you
class.
what excites me about X-Men Apocalypse, and it fixes a problem I have with prequels in general.
Yeah.
Is that I never fear for certain characters in prequels because
Okay.
they exist in
Yeah. Well, yeah.
in the sequels. But
Thanks to
Days of Future Past rewrote the timeline.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now anything can happen. Anyone
anyone's
can go.
game.
The
'Cause
only
that's
way.
not true.
Yeah, we know that Jean Grey will be around.
she's back.
We know that Storm
Cyclops,
will be
Storm.
around and Cyclops will be around.
And
Professor X
more
is back.
importantly, though, Nightcrawler's back.
Nightcrawler is in this film, and
And-
he looks very. interesting.
Although, then he could die if the storyline is rewritten.
Yeah, there are characters like that.
I don't
Havoc,
want him to.
No,
Rose
everyone loves
Byrne's
him.
character.
I don't care about
There's the
Havoc.
room for death.
I really don't care about Havoc.
Yeah. You
Like,
could see Quicksilver die. Do you reckon they'd kill Quicksilver?
I hope not.
so
He's like
soon
the
after
most-
he'd already died in the Avengers.
Yeah.
I don't think they could do that to him.
Whoa,
man. He's just
spoiler
had a-
alert for Avengers
Oh.
Age of Ultron.
He'd
I
just
really
be having a
hope-
rough couple of years, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
I hope they clarified that it's Magneto's son. It was like, hey, Dad. Oh.
I don't know if because they kind of they made a joke about it
Made
in
a
Days of Future
joke.
Past, didn't
Yeah.
they? You've seen Days
Yeah,
of
I've seen
Future Past, where they're in the lift and he's like, so what do you do? He's like, I can control metal. He's like, oh, my mum knew someone who could control
Me
metal.
mum.
Yeah,
Me
that's
mum,
exactly how he said
exactly
it.
it.
He's in the
Oh, me
lift and
mum.
Evan Peters is like, oh, mate, me mum used to know someone who could do that.
Me old lass.
Jesus Christ, guys.
Can I just ask, what is Apocalypse's power?
Everything. He literally
is
he's
the power.
first-
He has the power of mutants.
It's ironically, he's kind of an ironic character because he is the first mutant, which logically should mean he doesn't have that many mutations.
No, yeah.
Because like
That's
mutation
not how
is
that
like
works.
a
It
doesn't-
developing
yeah,
thing.
that's
Like,
decrease.
but the way this works is, oh, he's the first mutant, give him everything.
Everything, yeah,
he
no.
has everything. He can grow.
He's
he
the
can shrink,
start
he
of
can
the
mind
genome,
control.
just like.
And it's like that's like if like. Sorry for anyone who is creationist, but if you look at the theory of evolution, right?
I mean, it's pretty wrong.
Yeah.
No. Like the mutation of like man. We didn't start at human and then go back to square one.
He looks
Realistic. If it were being scientifically more accurate, Apocalypse would have like an extra thumb or something.
He wouldn't even have that.
He would have like
He'd be able
he
to
would
roll
have like
his tongue.
one color eye.
That's it. He
slightly
would be
different
able
to
to.
the other.
He would be able to roll his tongue. That is the
Yeah.
end of it. That's it.
Exactly. That's pretty much it. So you excited for X-Men Apocalypse, Taylor?
Oh, obviously.
You excited for X-Men Apocalypse?
Absolutely.
I am too.
Good.
Glad we all came to this agreement that it's gonna be. It's gonna be.
Moving
it's
on.
exciting.
You know what we need to talk about? Do it, Jake.
No, that's
Do it.
later.
Do it. Do it. Do
We'll be talking about Star Wars later, but
Yeah, we.
another trailer drop that Taylor really wants to talk about because he's a nerd, but me and Connor don't
We
want to.
just
But
talked
first-
about X-Men.
Yeah,
but
but
it's
this
worse
is
nerdy.
just worse, Taylor.
You're all horrible.
Quite
get to it
frankly,
in a minute.
in
So-
so many ways, it's worse.
the
It's
Screen
worst.
Actors Guild Awards and the Golden Globe Awards announced their nominees this week.
Yep.
So that's cool.
Yeah, if you're into the Golden Globes.
Yeah, if you
Golden
actually-
Globes are rubbish.
Just a
I'll
load of
explain
It's not
my
an
big
Oscar,
issue
is it?
with the Golden Globes in a minute.
My big issue with them is that they're not the Oscars. Just
Even the
quite
Oscars,
frankly.
I kind of have a problem with because
Yeah,
it's
no,
all a
I-
bunch
I-
of old,
I have-
rich white dudes.
Yeah,
like,
no,
"Oh,
I have a
this
problem.
film
I
was-"
have a problem
yeah.
with the way they're picked and the way the votes go. But like, I don't have a
Leo's
problem
not
with
getting one.
them.
He might this year. We'll talk about it in a minute.
Mm.
So, for those who don't know, Screen Actors Guild Awards is just about acting. So, the Screen Actors Guild Award, their big award, is Best Cast in a Motion Picture. So, it's like an ensemble cast in a motion picture. That's like the big award.
Yeah.
Because it recognizes all of them. It says, in this film, the cast is so phenomenal. It's brilliant and perfect all along. Do you want to hear the nominees for
Absolutely.
cast in a motion picture? So Beasts of No Nation, which is a
Netflix show,
Idris
isn't
Elba film I think
Was that a
wa-
film? I
that
thought
was
it was a series.
that was. I think it is Netflix exclusive though. Don't quote me on that. Connor, will you have a look while I read through?
Yeah,
the
that is.
list?
It's on Netflix.
Beasts of No Nation. It's an Idris Elba.
Sorry, Beats or Beast?
Beasts. Beats of No Nation.
I don't. He has.
No,
he has his music career. I was confused.
Yeah, that is yeah. But this is like a drama film. Yeah, it's a Netflix original film, which is interesting. I think it's the first time.
Oh, I've seen a lot about this. Actually.
I think it's the first time a Netflix original film
Has
will
been
have been nominated
for an award.
an award, like in one of the bigger things. So, Beast of No Nation, The Big Short, which is the Steve Carell, Christian Bale,
Yep.
Ryan Gosling thing about the housing market crash. It looks interesting. A film called Spotlight, which I sorry to be ignorant, I've literally never heard of. Straight Outta Compton,
Yeah.
which is interesting because you haven't seen it, have you?
No.
Me and Connor saw it. We loved the cast in that. We said the acting
It's
was one of the strongest
fantastic,
points. So yeah, I'm glad that they're getting recognition. And finally, Trumbo.
Which
Of those,
we need to see.
which we need to see
Yeah.
because if do you know what Trumbo is? It's about
I've heard of it. I
the
just can't
the
recall.
blacklisted writer because everyone thinks he's a communist, so he gets blacklisted.
Walter White goes back in time.
Yeah, Walter White goes back in
Right,
time.
yeah,
He keeps
okay.
his mustache though. So yeah, of those, who would you say you want to win? I want to see Straight Outta Compton win because that's a good cast, and
well,
also I
here's
haven't
the
really
thing.
seen any. Of
I've
them.
only seen Straight Outta Compton
Yeah.
there,
So
unfortunately.
I've seen none of them, so I'm just like,
Well, I'm glad you're here.
go all of them. You know?
Okay. Yeah, good on you for getting recognised. So
But there are some good casts there. Absolutely. I think every one of them would be deserving of the award. Quite
well, we
frankly.
need to see them first. That's what we need to do.
No,
This
I've
is
seen
what
I've seen the
discovered.
casts. I've seen the casts
Should
for
we
all
sit
of
down
them.
now and do it?
Okay, we're going to jump away for 5 hours.
Yeah,
probably
no,
more
we'll
than
come
that.
back later.
No, we really need to catch up on all the like
we do.
the
We really
Oscar
do.
season because we haven't watched a lot of films, like the
Not
big
really.
films this year. Anyway, so the other two really big awards at the SAGs are yeah, SAGs. It just sounds a bit daft. Is the male actor in a leading role. The nominees are Bryan Cranston for Bryan Cranston, not Cranston. Bryan Cranston for Trumbo, Johnny Depp in Black Mass, Leonardo DiCaprio in The Revenant, Michael Fassbender as in Steve Jobs, and Eddie Redmayne in The Danish Girl. Do you think this could be DiCaprio's year?
I absolutely think that if he doesn't get an award this year, he's probably got no chance.
Ever.
Yeah, this is it. It's this or
I think you
Or,
could see
like, post-
Eddie Redmayne get 2 consecutive Oscar wins here.
Yeah, it's
Like,
likely.
It's a
what's it? Sorry, 1 second. What's he?
the
been-
Danish Girl.
The Danish
So
Girl.
he plays a. You'll have to
Man.
excuse me because I'm a little bit ignorant on this whole thing. It's transgender, transsexual,
Yeah,
trans
pretty much.
transsexual man. Sorry, a transsexual woman. The phrasing of it is someone can correct me. I'm sure.
His
was the
character's preparing to
first.
undergo one of the first sex change operations.
Yeah. So it was one of those things.
He just looks
but-
like a pretty woman.
It
Like-
he is a very pretty
Which,
woman.
you know,
Like I know that's a strange thing to say.
I would never be able to pull that off, and that upsets me.
It's
He's prettier
the
than
beat.
most of the girls I know, and that upsets me.
It's true though. It's true.
You want
But
to
yeah.
hope your girlfriend isn't listening.
I
She
didn't
almost
say her.
definitely is. He said most of the girls. Whether Charlotte
but let's-
succeeded is
She's
irrelevant.
way prettier than a man dressed as a woman.
There you go. There's a thumbs up, ringing endorsement. So yeah, it would.
Ringing
I think
endorsement for his
it
girlfriend.
could be another year for Eddie Redmayne. The SAG Award for Best Female Actor in a Leading Role. Kate Blanchett in Carol, that's the one that she does alongside Rooney Mara. Brie Larson in Room, which not The Room, Room, which I've seen the trailers for and it looks amazing, like really, really good. Helen Mirren in The Woman in Gold, Saoirse Ronan in Brooklyn, and Sarah Silverman in I Smile Back, which
I
I'd
do
never
love
heard of,
Sarah
but
Silverman.
Sarah
Ooh.
Silverman receiving like award recognition is interesting to me.
It's not
She doesn't
unheard of,
strike
though.
me as but she doesn't strike me as the kind of person that is it a dramatic thing or is it a comedy? Like I genuinely don't know.
We'll never know.
Yeah.
I don't know how much longer you want to talk about the award season for. I have got a trailer here that I kind of want to talk about because this was released this week.
Look,
Like,
we'll get to it, but
Yeah,
I do have a
okay.
lot of more award stuff to go through. We
okay.
might have to extend into the next segment.
all right.
The SAG Award for Stunt Ensemble, which is really cool, I think, because
Yeah.
it's cool to me that stunt people are being
Yeah,
recognised in their own
absolutely.
category because it's such a hard job.
They probably
So
have the hardest job. They
stunt ens-
literally die doing their job.
Some of them do, yeah.
Like,
Stunt
all the
ensemble
time.
in a
All stunt people.
I'm
don't.
talking
of them.
All of them.
In this case, I'm talking about stunt ensemble in a motion in a TV show, not a motion picture. I know Mad Max Fury Road is nominated for the motion picture one. I can't remember the rest of the nominees because I didn't write them down. But what's really cool is Daredevil is nominated in the TV show category.
Yeah.
The Blacklist, Game of Thrones, Homeland, and The Walking Dead. So let's be realistic. Daredevil has this one, right?
Yeah.
Definitely. You've got
Daredevil
ninjas, you've got
and-
blind people.
Blind ninjas in some
Here's
cases.
the thing: I'd be inclined to lean towards The Walking Dead, but I'm kind of.
What?
What
Listen,
happened?
listen.
Like, I've not watched The Walking Dead
Listen.
this season.
Let me explain something. I am biased because I love zombie fiction. It's like my favorite thing.
You've just finished watching Daredevil, though, for the
I
first
have,
time.
and that's
How
why
can
I'm
you
saying.
not be excited?
Can you let me finish?
Okay, go ahead.
I'm literally saying that I think Daredevil's going to win because there's literally nothing that I can think of
Flawless.
where they would even need stuntmen in The
in The
Walking
Walking
Dead.
Dead, yeah, that's what I was
There's
thinking.
barely
like,
any-
what is that?
Right, we need you to walk like a
Just-
zombie.
I just
right?
I mean, is that what they mean? Like,
I
is
don't
that
know.
what the reference?
There's a few fight scenes, but like, it's
Oh,
only
well, I
the
don't know
chick with
'cause
the
I
sword
don't
who
really
doesn't
watch
do
it.
anything.
Jake, I just kicked the lower switch on my chair by accident.
Oh,
and now
did you
I'm on
like?
the floor.
I was gonna say you do look a little lower. So that's the SAG Awards. Those are the SAG Awards I wanted to talk about. Moving on to the notable things from the Golden Globes. And so up front, I want to say I don't like the Golden Globes.
No.
I like Ricky Gervais, who often hosts it. I enjoyed Amy Poehler and Tina Fey last year. They hosted it, and they're hilarious.
They really
They are
are.
two of the
Poehler?
funniest women.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Is it Amy Poehler?
Amy Poehler, yeah.
Alright.
Amy Poehler and Tina Fey. Two absolutely hilarious. I almost swore then. Two really hilarious women. And it's just it's always a good show.
Yeah. It's a good
Um,
show. It's not so
but
great on the awards side of things.
I hate the best motion picture, the way they do
Yeah.
it. So they split it, if you don't know. They do best motion picture in the musical or comedy category.
What?
Musical and comedy.
Not really the
Don't-
same genre.
Yeah, don't strike me as something you would
Do you
put
know
together.
What, do you know what that strikes me as? That strikes me as someone who's basically said, okay, we need awards for these things, but I don't really care about them
Exactly,
so
that's
much,
what
so
it's
let's
like.
give them less screen time.
Exactly. So there's best motion picture musical or comedy, and then best motion picture drama. And so here's the thing that bothers me: the comedy and musical side is never. They always have something ridiculous in it. Last year, it was The Wolf of Wall Street was in musical and comedy.
What?
I mean, it
It's
wasn't.
funny,
it
but
was
it's
funny,
a
yeah.
drama film. That's a dramatic
Yeah,
film.
it's a biopic that's
And
just
then-
pretty good.
And so
Although I will say, like,
it
if you
did lead
showed
to-
someone literally just the lemon scene out of context,
the
you would be
lemon
able to
scene.
convince them
no, but
quite easily it was
it's
a
a
comedy.
drama. It is
It
a
is-
drama.
it is
There
a
is
drama.
no two ways around it. Like it's a dramatic piece of film, and I'm sure Scorsese wasn't exactly happy when he heard that it was nominated for comedy. And DiCaprio actually won for Best Actor in a comedy, right?
Yeah.
At last year's Golden Globes
Still
Awards.
not an Oscar,
And
though.
he said when he got up to win, he was like, "So yeah, I'd like to thank all of my my fellow comedic actors." And then he was like, Michael Keaton for Birdman. I'm like, again, that was nominated as well. It's like
Yeah.
they're not comedies; they're
Was he being
dramas that
sarcastic?
happen to be
It
funny.
has to be
Yeah, he was being
sarcasm, let's be
sarcastic. Yeah,
serious.
he's being like I can't understand it. But anyway, so best motion picture for drama in the drama category. There's something interesting in this. You'll spot it when I say it.
You look so
So the
angry.
nominees are Carol with the Kate Blanchett film.
Yep.
Mad Max Fury Road,
Okay.
The Revenant,
Okay.
Room, and Spotlight. So it's cool that Mad Max is in there.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because that's not, like, to me, that strikes me as like I know it's not, because it does have wide appeal, but it strikes me as like the nerdy kind of film that awards tend to shy away from.
Yeah, no, I get
Do you know what I mean? It's a
Yeah.
little too high fantasy.
Yeah.
I say that, Lord of the Rings, but like they're slightly different caliber.
Yeah, but
of
they're
film.
considered to be like literary prestige as well. so
Exactly. That is exactly it. And like the Mad Max franchise
It's like
but
it was an original film IP. Like,
from what I've heard, it's definitely deserving of this nomination.
oh, it's like, was it an original film IP? Or was
What,
it
Mad
graphic
Max?
novel?
I believe it was an original thing when it was Mel Gibson.
Right.
Is what I'm saying. Obviously, the Tom Hardy one wasn't the.
Because I know there
original.
are Mad Max graphic novels. I just couldn't remember whether they came
Yeah, I
first or
don't
not.
know. But yeah, of those films, have you seen any of those films? No, you haven't.
I've seen like
No.
3/4.
Yeah, some of
Mad
the
Max.
problem is that we live in England, so some of these films haven't come out yet.
Let's say like no one's seen The Revenant yet.
Yeah. Well, I mean, other people. Clearly, the Golden Globes have seen it. What I'm wondering is, does their consideration? I didn't check, but it's just occurred to me now. Does their consideration also include December as well? Have they seen like earlier things? So, did Star Wars not make it onto any of these?
I don't think it will.
And also, here's the thing: what category would you put that in? It'd have to be drama, right?
Comedy.
See, that's
comedy.
the thing.
They would.
But that's the kind of thing that they would put in comedy
yeah.
and
That's
musical because
sad.
it's not like the prestige of film.
Yeah.
It's not what you would consider Oscar-worthy film.
If you think about it, though,
I'm with you. I think a good film's a good film at the end of the
here's
day.
the thing. If you look at like the original Star Wars trilogy, you would consider those like prestige films, right?
Mhm.
You'd consider them like top tier of cinema because they made half of what is modern cinema.
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't that go in? Why wouldn't that go in the big?
I don't know.
I don't know.
So, moving on to Best Motion Picture in the Comedy or Musical category, this is the reason I
Silly,
brought this up,
yeah.
is because it's daft. So, The Big Short, which, for those who don't know, is a biographical drama about the people who predicted the housing bubble collapse.
How is that any kind of comedy
Exactly.
or musical? What?
This'll
Get it
annoy you
together,
as well.
Golden
A
Globes.
film, Joy. I don't know about Joy. I can't comment. The Martian.
Ooh. Ooh.
I get.
No, that's not a comedy.
No,
That
but
is- it's
no,
funny.
But I get from a consumer level why people would interpret it as a comedy.
It's
Like
not
the
a
same
comedy.
reason that I consider the book to be a
It's-
funny book,
IMDb classifies it as
Yeah.
an adventure, drama, sci-fi.
which it is. It
It's
absolutely
not
is.
like films can be funny without being a comedy. You know, it's just a bit. Oh, Joy is the new Jennifer Lawrence one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is a comedy. So fair enough.
Oh,
Trio.
And then Spy is on there, the Melissa McCarthy film, which I haven't seen yet, but it's apparently quite funny.
Yeah, I've
and
heard that
Jason
basically.
Statham is funny. In it,
I've
apparently.
basically heard that everyone but Melissa McCarthy is funny in that film.
Yeah, that's what I heard
Aw.
as well. Like,
Literally everyone. Like,
you know,
who they've got Jason Statham is apparently hilarious.
Jude Law's in it, Chris O'Dowd, other people.
It's all like big action
Rose Byrne.
and espionage genre actors and stuff. In
Chris
the comedy
O'Dowd is
roles.
not.
Well, not
Anyway,
not Chris O'Dowd. but-
Miranda Hart is in it as well, which is interesting.
Oh.
And then the last one in that category is Trainwreck, the Amy Schumer.
That's a good description of the category too.
Yeah, that category is a bit of a train wreck.
Yeah.
I've actually heard very good things about Trainwreck. So that's a load of rubbish.
Yeah.
Like, you know. Last piece of awards news before we move on to our first musical break. I'll just talk you through quickly the Best Director category. So Todd Haynes for Carol, Alejandro Iñárritu for The Revenant, Tom McCarthy for Spotlight, George Miller for Mad Max Fury Road, and Ridley Scott for The Martian. You happy with that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Ridley Scott's probably your winner there, isn't it?
Probably.
So,
I
Connor.
reckon it probably goes up against Mad Max there though.
Yeah.
Like those would be the two big ones.
So, Connor.
Yep.
We got a musical break. What's
have a musical
what's
break.
the music?
This song you might recognise from the soundtrack of Skyfall. It is Skyfall. Welcome back to Film for Thought on Blast Media. Once again, if you'd like to join in the conversation here, you can tweet at FFT_podcast or with hashtag FFT on Blast.
Man, you
what
literally
is wrong with me
scripted it
tonight?
out. You've scripted out everything.
I'm reading it like
you've
literally like a
not
foot in
nailed your
front of me.
script
How am I not
once.
getting this?
You're let down, mate.
I
That
just
was
can't
that
script
was
tonight.
Skyfall by Adele from the soundtrack of
Was
Skyfall.
indeed.
So we'll wrap up the news because we're going over into Star
Yep.
Wars time.
Yep.
So let's talk about it. Let's just talk about it,
I
shall
don't
we?
wanna. I don't wanna. I'll leave you in total
We
for this
saw
one.
the first trailer for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows this week.
Yeah!
Taylor, you're a big Ninja Turtles fan, aren't you? You've got them like on your arm or something.
Am I right?
He actually does have them
Yeah,
on his arm.
Yeah, he
I
has
do.
a tattoo of all of them
All four.
All four of them.
for reasons, I guess,
For reasons.
along with other crap
For
tattoos.
no reason.
You're all...
I love your tattoos, Taylor, in an ironic way. You know, like you love the Spice Girls.
You mean like how your mum loves you too?
Oh!
Hey! Hey, he's
Scathing.
crossing a line.
So we saw a couple of cool things in the, and I'm being genuine. We saw a couple of cool things in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles trailer that actually did kind of excite me for a moment. But then I'll explain why I lost faith in it in a second. So we saw Casey Jones.
We did, played by Stephen Amell,
Who was Arrow.
Arrow's Green
Yeah.
Arrow.
Yeah.
As, some
Oh,
of
is
you
that who
know.
he
Not
plays?
played by Ashton Kutcher.
Not played by Ashton Kutcher, which is good.
No, it's
Didn't he
not
the
good.
voice?
He's great in the TV series.
He's the voice in the
Yeah,
TV
he's the
series.
voice,
Yeah. Yeah. What do you think of? He looks. One of our housemates was saying he looked a bit old.
Yeah, but like they don't really specify his age.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter.
Everyone's like,
does
oh
it?
yeah, he's like a teenager. I'm like, no, he's not. I mean, he looks like just like an angry bloke in his 20s
Yeah.
in everything. So
And I suppose it works. I'm not sure if I quite bought the fact that he was like beating up the Foot Clan with a like
yeah, with a
actual-
hockey
with
stick and a puck.
No, the hockey stick is fine. It's
Yeah.
the fact that he was beating the puck around.
yeah.
Like that, I can't. Like I just. Something about that I just don't like.
The way I see it, I love the Ninja Turtles and I love Stephen Amell, so like I don't care what he does.
That's fair. That's
Like,
a fair
I just
assessment.
don't care.
Let's do our quick check-up on Connor. How you doing there, Connor?
I just don't.
Okay, we also saw Bebop and Rocksteady
Yeah, we
for the
did.
first time in cinematic history.
Yeah.
I actually think they look pretty cool.
good. Yeah.
Like, and I'm actually quite a fan of the voice acting that you heard from it.
No.
So, like, Michelangelo makes a joke, and Bebop's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, you got jokes?
Oh, you got
And he
jokes,
just-
huh?
and
Oh.
and there was one shot of Rocksteady like emerging from the water in a tank and firing. No, it's
No, they're
like,
both in a tank.
like, here's the thing. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is a ridiculous concept, so I
Yeah.
don't mind when they embrace the ridiculousness a little bit. So Bebop and Rocksteady bursting out of the water in a tank and firing missiles at like the Ninja Turtles, I'm fine with that. I'm fine. But the rest of the film looks a little bit meh. And also Tyler Perry's in it, and I don't like Tyler Perry.
Who cares?
He was good in Gone Girl, nothing else.
Another thing is they finally picked an actor for Shredder.
They
and
did,
stuck with
and
it,
he's actually Asian.
rather
Hooray!
than painful recasts.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the only thing that I'll give them credit for with this trailer.
Yeah.
Everything else is like a step backwards for humanity. Let's be serious.
So let's move on to our final bit of the news. This is a segment we do every now and then when we're just overloaded with news. We've got
Yep.
too much news to talk about. So basically what I do is I ramble for a couple of seconds about all of the news that we won't get the time to talk about.
Quick bits, go!
It's called Quick Bits. Yeah, thank you for reminding me. So, quick bit number 1. We got the first BFG trailer this week. It's directed by Steven Spielberg. It looks really interesting. It's nice to
Holy
see.
crap, I'm excited
It's nice
for
to
it.
see another Roald Dahl adaptation.
Holy
So,
crap,
quick
I'm
bit number
excited
2.
for it.
Sorry, this is literally how fast Quick Bits is
Yeah.
going to move from now on. We'll get some music and
Clues
stuff
in
in
the
the new year and
name.
stuff. Kate Blanchett is being looked at for Thor Ragnarok. So, could she be playing Valkyrie or maybe a female villain? Who knows? We'll find out soon.
I'd like her
I'm
to play
sure.
Valkyrie. That would be cool.
I'd like her to play Ragnarok.
Ryan Coogler, director of Creed, is being looked at to direct Black Panther.
Interesting.
Oh, we've got some music.
Oh, that's beautiful.
This is wonderful.
This is
yeah.
perfect.
So yeah, Ryan Coogler he directed Creed. He's being looked at for Black Panther. And our final quick bit of the day, we got a first look at James Franco as Tommy Wiseau in The Disaster Artist, and he looks brilliant. He looks exactly like how you would want.
Have you got
Tommy
just
Wiseau
just one last quick bit I'm curious about? Do you have the opening weekend figures for Krampus?
I don't.
You don't?
I can't imagine it did very well.
I'd like to think it did really well because I actually like the look of that film.
That's it for quick bits. That's how quick
That's
quick
literally
bits
it.
is.
Oh, I've got the opening figures here. 16 million.
That's okay. No, it's okay. I guess. for-
16.2 million
That's
open weekend for
To be
Krampus.
fair,
pretty
the
decent
cast
for a Christmas
on a
horror
15
film.
on a
It was a-
15 million budget.
It's a pretty major film, and the cast are pretty impressive. So.
No, but I mean, it's a horror film that's coming out at Christmas, so 16 million, you can't really.
Yeah,
turn your nose
15
up at.
million budget, and so far it's grossed 19.3 million.
Good. Go them.
So, Connor, take back the show for
Yeah.
film talk. What's our film talk about this week? I forgot.
Oh, you're so funny.
I didn't.
You're just
forget.
the funniest of funny.
I
This week we're talking about I was about to say the one, the only, but it's actually the three, the only. The
they're
original
not the only.
Star Wars trilogy.
Star Wars.
Because it's still Star Wars time here on
Yeah.
on Blast. Yeah, no, on Film for Thought
on
on
Film
Blast.
for Thought on Blast.
Yeah.
Yay, Star Wars.
Woohoo, Star
See, I'm
Wars.
not a fan
Who
of
doesn't
Star
love
Wars.
these films? Apparently,
Did you hear
what
what
did
you
he
just
say?
said? Oh, I'm not a fan of Star Wars. Mate, you've got the Rebel Alliance logo tattooed on your arm.
Mate, you'd be
Oh.
surprised how many people here aren't Star Wars fans. Like, I swear to God, I've had nothing but hate handing out these Star Wars marathon
Yeah,
posters
they're like,
this
oh,
week.
you nerd. Like,
I swear to God, I've had people ripping
Basics
down
do
the
we go to uni with?
Get this, it's been like borderline abuse at some points.
So, yeah,
with it.
some people just
There have
don't
been
like it.
people tearing down the posters literally 3 feet from me while I'm still putting them up.
To
There
be
have been
fair-
people throwing them into the trash when I've put like piles and stuff down.
Yeah.
There have been people literally screaming in the bar when you put posters down about how they're sick of seeing Star Wars everywhere and these nerds need to unsanitary phrase themselves. Like,
Maybe it's because
Do
of
you
the
know what
badly
I say to
designed
those
posters.
people?
unsanitary phrase themselves?
No. To those people, I say, I'm enjoying Star Wars regardless of your... Like,
We're
What-
having
what
a fun
happens when
Christmas.
you-
What do you do?
when you hate Star Wars, what happens? You just don't like Star Wars
Yeah.
and you get miserable about Star Wars. What I'm doing is I'm enjoying it
Yeah.
and getting fun out of it. So in your face, haters.
I've
Do you know
literally
what?
had
Do you know what? Stop being nerf herders. Am I right?
Only they can say that word.
I've literally been excited
I
for
love
like
you.
5 months solid for these films, and I can just imagine that these people that have been like literally giving me verbal and physical abuse the past few days.
Physical abuse. They haven't been hitting you.
Okay.
Like
Just
Like it's been
Did
emotional,
you get your lunch money
verbal, and
stolen?
psychological abuse. Then how about that?
Did you
right?
get your milk money stolen?
I
Connor?
absolutely stole my milk.
Is it just Star Trek
Jake?
nerds that are
Jake,
bugging
they,
you?
Jake.
Maybe that's what it is. You just ran into a bunch
yeah.
of Star Trek nerds.
But Jake, they threw my C-3PO toy on the ground and stomped on it.
Oh.
What do I do?
Connor.
But I've been
That's a joke, by the way.
I've been excited for like 5 months straight for these films.
I'm,
For this
like,
film, like
I don't
how
know, it's-
what have they done for the last 5 months? Probably been miserable seeing it on social media
Yeah,
everywhere.
yeah.
Like, come on, guys,
Like I'm.
stop
playing
thinking you're
football
cool
and
for not liking
crying.
Star Wars.
And can I be-
Everyone likes Star
And can I
Wars.
be honest? This is a safe space. I'm
Yeah.
sure the people listening will think I'm just ridiculously nerdy, but I don't have to deal with them until I put it up on YouTube.
Yeah,
tomorrow.
yeah.
Like I just have this group, and it's a safe space to talk openly about my feelings.
Oh yeah,
I genuinely am starting to get emotional about the fact that Star Wars 7 is coming out.
it's a big
I know that sounds
thing.
daft, but like it's such a big part of like who I am, like nerd
Yeah.
culture. And this isn't like 21st century nerd culture. Like,
No,
it's not.
this
I'm
has
not
been
doing it
our entire
ironically.
life.
This has been literally like
We
nerd
grew up
culture.
playing with Star Wars action figures
We
and
had-
playing
we had-
Star Wars
we had
games.
Naboo Starfighters, like models of it. We've had all the Lego and stuff. We've had the games. It's been a huge part, and now there's like more of it. I get to experience more of it in my lifetime. I never thought there would be a time in my conscious lifetime, because obviously they came out
Yeah.
during my lifetime, but like
Absolutely.
I don't remember them. The
You don't
prequels coming
remember
out.
2 of them coming out.
This will be the first Star Wars film I remember coming out in cinemas.
This will be the first one I see in cinema.
Yeah.
Because like we never went to see the prequels when
No,
they came
no,
out in cinema.
no.
Because for various reasons, I guess.
well,
I
I
think
assumed because
Revenge of the
parents
Sith.
wouldn't take us.
Revenge of the Sith came out when we were on holiday in Anglesey.
And also, it was around Doctor Who.
It was
time
also
when
around
we were,
Doctor
yeah,
Who.
we were obsessed with Doctor Who at that point.
The second film, we were still like 4 and 5 years old.
No,
no,
we
5
weren't
and
that
6.
young.
The point is that we're still really young, and
The point is,
cinemas
this is like
were a lot
the
of work.
big one for
This
us.
is this is
like-
it. This is where.
And so I'm genuinely having like an emotional
Yeah.
response to it. And I know that's like really
It's a-
nerdy, but I'm
No, it's not really. It's
excited.
appropriate.
and I'm sure when the Star Wars thing, like the I'm gonna cry.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cry in
I'm
the cinema.
pretty sure I saw number 3 in the cinema with my dad. So that's how long ago it was.
That's a joke because Taylor doesn't know his dad or something.
Oh,
He knows his dad. His
Like-
dad's just not around.
that's awkward context, man.
He's basically Darth Vader to me.
Yeah, in like 20 years' time, you're gonna be stood on like the top of a tower or something. He's gonna cut off your hand, and then you're gonna like jump off onto the
You're
Millennium
gonna be like,
Falcon.
you
and fly
killed my
away.
father. And you'll be like, no,
No.
Taylor, I am your father. 'Cause he's
Was
northern,
it?
apparently.
Except he
Hey,
do- here's the thing. Here's the thing. Like the most famous line in movie history. The most famous line in movie history is misquoted because he doesn't say, "No, Luke, I am your father." He says, "No, I am your father."
yeah,
he doesn't,
you're right.
he doesn't
you're
say
right.
Luke.
Well, like, shut up.
No, I'm just saying. It's like it amazes me that it can be misquoted because it's so famous.
So anyway, let's talk about the original trilogy.
Yeah, let's do it.
Nah, not as good as the prequels, are they?
No, not even by. They don't hold a candle to Jar Jar Binks.
Do we still have Jar Jar sound effects anyway?
No, Katie, don't
We
do
do,
it.
but
Katie,
like I
please.
told her to put them away.
Please. There they
And
are.
that-
There they are.
No, don't.
Right there. Oh, I want to hear him make a noise though.
No. So, what was I saying? So,
Yeah,
A New
the
Hope.
The original was.
Let's talk about all the cool bits from A New Hope.
Right, so all of it. Moving on.
What's your favorite moment from A New Hope?
For me, from A New Hope, I swear to God, like, here's the thing. You know how everyone goes on about how it was a sin for George Lucas to remaster and add a bunch of stuff?
Go on.
Like, the sound effect for the Stormtrooper knocking his head off the door frame. It's like the one thing I give him.
I like that.
Like, I love that change.
It's stupid and it's fun and it's not too big
If
of a deal.
somehow you are listening to this show and are not some sort of like social media shut-in and do not know about this Easter egg, as it were,
It's amazing.
basically a stormtrooper, like one of the stormtroopers in the original series, is really too tall for the role, right? Like
No,
too
it
tall
wasn't
for
that he
this.
was too tall. It was that the door didn't open as far as it was.
Was it
supposed to.
not?
Yeah. the
Oh
door
right,
got
okay. So, but basically, they're walking along in like full formation, and you just see one of the stormtroopers hit their head
Oh.
on the door of the
go
set.
dunk.
It's amazing. And in the remaster version, George Lucas added a sound effect
which was brilliant.
to
It's just
highlight it.
beautiful.
It's just like it's the one thing no one can be mad at him for changing.
Yeah, I love it.
It's amazing.
my favorite moment, I think, is genuinely Luke looking out to Tatooine's two sons.
Okay,
and
that's
you've got
my
the sco-
actual favorite moment.
And you've got the score from John Williams, which I think we have, but let's not.
Yeah, no, we
Play
have
it
the
for
we
now.
have the
Play that for
Banner
the next
Sunset.
song.
It's the if you're interested, last week's episode it was the song we played under the intro.
What's it called again?
Binary Sunsets.
Binary Sunsets. Yeah, it's an amazing score.
Yeah, absolutely.
and it's
Oh, it's
such
here.
a-
We've got it here.
Such a beautiful image.
Yeah, it's actually my
Oh.
favorite moment from A New Hope as well. Like I was kind of kidding around with the Stormtrooper hair bump thing. That's just a cool thing that they put in. This is actually really cool.
Yeah, it's a really great moment.
Powerful.
Other really great moments. The introduction of Han Solo, and the Greedo debate.
Oh yeah, that sets his character perfectly.
Yeah.
It's just like.
Where do you
not mess
stand
with
on
him.
the whole Han shot first thing? Because he did in the
Yeah,
original.
he did.
So we'll go from the original.
It
But-
changes the character a fair amount, but at the
Exactly,
same time, it's
exactly.
something that if no one had have told me about in the changes, I wouldn't have noticed.
Yeah, because at this point we'll have never seen the original version.
Oh no, I've seen the original versions. I watched the despecialized ones last time I watched them through.
Okay. All right. Good for you. But yeah, the thing that annoys me about it is that it does fundamentally change the way the character works.
Yeah,
Because he shoots first because
because he's
he's-
untrusting.
yeah,
he's like
he's a bit of a maverick.
yeah, he's not to be messed with.
And
Where-
then in the
with
second
Greedo
one when it's
shooting first,
self-defense,
yeah,
it's like
it's not-
it doesn't give you any character context. And also, they CGI'd him like slightly dodging.
Yeah, that
The-
was
CGI'd?
Yeah, they
it was
CGI'd him
really
like
weird.
moving his head, and it's really weird because his head doesn't tilt. It just like he like forgets he has a neck for a minute. And
Yeah.
he just goes and like drags it off to the side. It's just daft. It
you
looks
know,
a bit ridiculous.
people
when
use
you,
the
like, slow
original
it down.
version of that scene to point out like the premise that Han Solo may actually be a secret Force wielder.
Yeah,
Like unknowingly, like he isn't aware of it. There's like supposedly a ton of characters that like use the Force all the time in the Star Wars universe
yeah,
that just
secret.
are not aware of it.
Jar
Yeah.
Jar, am I right?
Yeah, Jar Jar.
No, they're actually like.
There's actually
and
like,
this isn't
premise.
linked into the
Oh,
Dark
No,
Plague.
don't.
Don't.
No,
No,
I told
no,
you.
no.
What did I tell you at the beginning of this week? I said, look, if you bring up Darth, I just spat everywhere. If you bring up Darth Jar Jar on this show again, I'm gonna find a new co-host. Taylor will do the show with me every week. I'm not kidding.
Jake,
I
I'm
didn't
saying,
have my phone on.
Don't.
I'm saying what I'm saying is this isn't linked to that, and I wasn't gonna mention it other than that.
Oops.
Thank you. Oh, that's fantastic. But yeah, no, like there is actually evidence to support Jar Jar Binks as being like an unknowing Force user. There's evidence to.
We're off topic again.
Yeah, we are, but we're talking about our topic
It's
is Star Wars,
We'll
man.
just
Come
talk
on.
about Star Wars for the
Yeah, but
next
Jar
month.
Jar is not topic.
True.
Yeah, true.
But yeah,
So,
no,
yeah, A New
it
Hope.
changes the character. Yeah.
The scene in the garbage compactory thing.
No,
Yeah, it's tense.
no, before that, we need to cover the remastered version of Jabba the Hutt
Oh,
and Han
God.
Solo
Was
walking
that scene
over his
even
tail.
in the
The
original?
scene isn't even in the
No, it's
original
not in the
because
original.
in the original
It was
original
a
film
guy in a
version,
fur coat.
it's
Yeah.
it's just Jabba the Hutt is just a dude.
Yeah.
He's a guy.
But because
and they cut it out.
They
because
cut
they
it
thought,
and then they
wouldn't it
changed
be
the character
cool?
in number 6.
Yeah, it was like, wouldn't it be cool to have him be a more ominous, overarching?
Yeah, and they were
presence? It's
right,
like,
it
they
was
were
more
right,
cool.
and it's great in like if you cut that scene out of when you like this weekend at the marathon, I might edit it out,
I'm genuinely considering.
like unremastering it a little bit.
Well, yeah, get like sort of mixing our own despecialized version a little bit
Nah,
if we
it's
can.
too much effort for
A little bit
one day.
too much effort, but at the same time, I have a lot of free time on my hands. I don't actually. I've got
Yeah,
assignment work.
Oh my word!
Jake, turn your
Turned
phone
my
off,
phone
mate.
off. I did.
You're so
did.
unprofessional. Come on.
I did. You saw me do it.
It's all those Tinder robots, isn't it?
No, it's not. It's
Oh god.
it's not.
Okay, garbage compactor. Come
yeah.
on.
So that
The garbage compactor scene is tense and kind of.
It is
like,
great.
Does anyone else feel like it's a bit like
I
off
gen-
pace?
It scares me a little bit.
Yeah, it scares me, and it's like it's out of nowhere, and then they don't talk
if
about
you-
it again.
I would understand like if you were younger, genuinely being
Yeah.
scared by that.
It's like there's a couple of scenes like that in the original trilogy where it's just like it's actually kind of terrifying and comes out of nowhere as far as the story's concerned.
Yeah, but it kind of works. Like the whole part of that scene is like everything's fast paced and stormtroopers,
Yeah.
and then oh no, compactor monster thing,
No,
and
I
they
get
never really
it.
explained that, did they? And it was great.
No, I get
Yeah.
it. Oh, fair enough.
Other good moments from A New Hope. What-
Oh man, like
Should we go scene by scene?
That's what I'm trying. I'm trying to go
The trench
chronological. I'm
run?
worried I've missed something.
No,
Like,
Obi-Wan's
okay,
death.
Obi-Wan's death.
Obi-Wan's death.
We have to
yeah,
talk
that's
about
the next bit, I
like
think.
it's powerful, it's great, but at the
Weird.
same time, it's completely unjustified. There is
Yeah.
no reason for him to.
No one has ever done that in the Star Wars universe, and suddenly he's just like, oh yeah, disappeared. They never clarified it. What happened to
No,
him?
I think so. The way it is like Yoda and so Yoda disappears when he dies as well, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So the point is, Qui-Gon Jinn's body hangs around, but he discovers. Sorry, we're talking a little bit about the prequels here.
Yeah.
So Qui-Gon discovers post-mortem that he can become a Force ghost,
Yeah, he does.
but
Though you never see.
Obi-Wan and Yoda have been training to become Force ghosts since they discovered
Yeah.
Obi-Wan could do
Qui-Gon.
Qui-Gon could do it. So as soon as they die, they become one with the Force.
Yeah.
So their body's not there.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like this
Yeah, but
transcendent event.
Then how does Darth Vader know about it in the third one?
I think it's just
Well,
because
because
he's finally like he's
a very powerful
he's
Sith
a very
Lord by
powerful
then.
Sith Lord, and he sort of like does kind of fulfill the prophecy slightly. Like you see him become
does.
both parts of the prophecy. Like
Yeah.
he is the literal balance in the Force. He was a Jedi, becomes a Sith, and becomes a Jedi again at the end. He's sort of this like complete middle ground, and so it's like he's literally become one with the Force by slightly fulfilling this prophecy.
Yeah.
And I think that's why he manages it.
So Obi-Wan's death. I think it's a great like.
There
if
is
we're
no
talking about
there is no reason for him to die there. There's literally
No,
There is
you're
no.
wrong. See, don't mess with us because we just finished a module on screenwriting, and Star Wars: A New Hope is what was used as an example of like the perfect
Oh, it is
quote
the
unquote
perfect
generic
third act
storyline.
storyline thing. It is great.
It's like that is the point of no return, the all is lost moment that takes you into Act 3. Like it's an
Okay.
important moment where Luke Skywalker needs to think that everything is done so that he can have emotional growth in the third act.
No, I get it from a storytelling point of view. What I don't get it is from an in-universe point of view. Like, what is there in that scene that Obi-Wan decides he needs to die for? Like,
I do have an answer for you, but it's not in my head.
because he's old, he just doesn't care.
I
Can
th-
be.
I
no,
think
that's
we also
just
need to-
that's just Alec McGuinness.
Yeah, it's Alec. Is it Alec
Alec
McGuinness
McGuinness.
or Alec Guinness?
I thought
No,
it
it's
was
Alec
Alec
McGuinness.
Guinness.
I
Who
thought it was
cares?
just Guinness.
Anyway.
All right. Anyway, he does hate Star Wars, right? Well, he did. He's dead now. But yeah. Yeah, it's Alec Guinness. Yeah. Thank you. Not McGillis. McGuinness.
My apologies.
Yeah.
I thought it was Alec McGuinness.
But it doesn't matter. He's dead anyway.
Yeah, and he
well,
hated
obviously it
Star
matters,
Wars.
but yeah, he hates Star Wars, or he hated Star Wars. Past tense. He probably still hates Star Wars.
Yeah.
I
just love the idea that Alec Guinness became a Force ghost.
The last bit that I want to talk about from A New Hope,
Yeah.
which is really great, is obviously the finale.
Oh yeah,
And
the
Luke kind of
trench
the
run
first
and-
time he kind of embraces the Force by just Connor keeps knocking his
I'm on the
his-
floor again.
his height thing on his chair and going really low. So it's the first time he embraces the Force and he uses it to
And the classic
Destroy the
use
Death
the
Star.
Force Luke voiceover.
yeah, exactly. That's where
That's
the
like-
iconic line comes from. It's great.
I think that made the success of voiceovers as a thing.
So
in
many of the
cinema.
red faction, like Red Squadron, died. in
Yeah,
that.
absolutely.
Like
Literally
who was left?
all of
Wedge
them but Luke.
Antilles and
Oh,
Luke.
yeah.
that was it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Wedge Antilles got lucky, man,
He really did, didn't
because
he?
he got like clipped and then he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to go."
Yep.
It's like good for you, good. Because
Good.
if you
You
didn't,
gotta-
you would.
You did the right thing. You
Yeah.
bailed.
Yeah.
We only needed Luke. Look
Do
at
you know
this.
he's another guy who doesn't like Star Wars? He refused to return for
A
episode
large
7.
amount of the cast of Star Wars don't like Star Wars.
I don't get why.
Because
but
probably
yeah,
they're
but
sick
yeah,
of hearing
he-
about it at this point.
He was asked to come back for episode 7,
And he probably
as Wedge
said no,
Antilles.
right?
He said no. He is also Ewan McGregor's uncle.
Is he?
Yeah, and he tried to talk Ewan McGregor out of taking the role of Obi-Wan
Oh,
because he was
wow.
worried
That's
about
bitter.
like it ruining his career.
Yeah.
I think the thing with films like Star Wars and Star Trek and Lord of the Rings, stuff like that, it typecasts you.
Yeah, it
That's
really
what
does.
like George Takei says, like after playing Star Trek, no one really wants you for anything.
Yeah,
Yeah, but at the same time, like, Ewan McGregor is a clear exception to this rule. Like, he's had such a prolific
he
career
did
since
have
then.
a lot of success. He's not
Yeah.
very
Yeah,
successful
he had success.
nowadays.
Yeah, like before he did.
Oh, no, he still does some amazing films.
Do you hear he said he'd come back if they
Yeah.
needed Obi-Wan, which I think is great. because
Yeah,
I'd love
I'd
to
love
see an
that.
Obi-Wan spin-off, but that's set between
Yeah,
3 and 6
During the
3
Rise
and
of the
4.
Empire, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd love to see that.
Great. So do you want to go to a musical break and then we'll talk Empire and
I do indeed.
Return
yeah.
of the Jedi?
Yeah,
What's queued up on the music, Connor?
Next on the music. See, it's messed with me a bit because of the order. We have Everybody Wants to Rule the World by Tears for Fears from the soundtrack of Click. This song is
Awesome.
just so good. Now that is a tune. That is a tune. That was Accidentally in Love by Counting Crows
And
from
yes-
the soundtrack of just the worst film ever, Shrek 2.
Whoa.
Hey, it's
I
actually
hate-
not bad.
I hate the Shrek films.
No,
you all
Shrek
know
the
this.
Third.
They are the
Right.
worst.
Shrek the
Fine.
Third is bad.
No,
so
they're
is
all garbage.
Forever
I'm sorry.
After.
I'm sorry.
Two is
They're
good.
all garbage.
You look
Honestly,
like
the best
Shrek.
thing about those films is Puss in Boots.
So
Oh,
we were all
okay.
having a little sing along.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
were. We were
It
absolutely
was-
having a sing along because
which
that
was a lot
song's
of fun,
amazing.
and now my throat's a little bit tickly.
Oh yeah. Shame you drank all your water already, isn't
I
it?
did. It's just
Yeah.
gone.
So, welcome back to Film for Thought on Blast Media. Once again, if you'd like to join the conversation here, you can tweet at FFT_podcast or with the hashtag FFT on Blast.
You're getting better.
Nailed it.
You're
Did
getting
have
better.
a slight slip up there.
Yeah, you did. You flubbed a word,
I flubbed a word a little bit.
but that's fine.
Oh, well.
So when you left us, we were talking about A New Hope.
We were.
So obviously, the way it works now is we move on.
To possibly the best film in...
No, not possibly the best film. It's the best film.
Absolutely the best film.
It's the best film in the series.
Yeah.
In the
okay.
series,
Yeah.
I'm not saying like
Yeah.
Although,
definitive best film.
so
ever.
far,
One of the greatest sci-fi
so far,
films.
we
So
don't
far,
know.
We don't know. It could,
how
like,
good
Force
Force
Awakens could just be...
we all like J.J. Abrams and his lens flares.
We do.
Dude, so much lens.
Honestly, like, I love his cinematography more than his lens flares. Like, can we talk about how good of a cinematographer J.J. Abrams is?
Well,
Yeah.
he's not the
Like, I don't like
cinematographer.
Star
Well, no,
Trek,
but
like,
all
whoever
of
he
his
works
films
with
look really
is his films are always amazing. Like visually, they're just crazy good.
Sorry, I've got such a sore throat. So,
Yeah, no, we can tell.
let's just go through it like we did last time. Best
Yeah.
moments.
Yeah. Oh,
So we start on Hoth.
Hoth, which is one of the
Just
most memorable.
All of Hoth.
all of
all of
Hoth,
Hoth.
everything
All
on
of
Hoth.
Hey
Hey Jake, how warm is the inside of a tauntaun?
It's very warm.
It's lukewarm.
That's a great joke. No, that's a good joke.
I'm annoyed I didn't think of it.
You've never heard that joke before.
It's
No,
not
I've heard it.
lukewarm,
No,
guys.
it's
It's
wonderful.
lukewarm
We're not
because
from
you
the
get it because he's
80s.
inside the because Luke is inside
Yeah.
the tauntaun. I'll see myself
Why you
out.
ruined it?
There's some
Why?
great quotes from Hoth, like, "Oh, and I thought they smelled bad on the outside."
Yeah.
You've got to do the on the outside.
Oh yeah, because he does have a weird like
Yeah.
breath thing that he does.
Yeah,
It's
that's-
fine. I'll forgive it.
Yeah.
And something that bothers me about Empire Strikes Back, though, C-3PO's putting into a conversation with Han and Leia. Han like puts his hand over C-3PO's mouth, and C-3PO stops talking. Like that's not how robots work.
Like he doesn't have a mouth.
It, like
I never noticed that before, but you are entirely correct.
like
that
how does
happens.
that stop him from talking?
Maybe that is how robots work. and we
Maybe
just
there's
don't
like one of
know.
those sensors you get over like electronic flushes in bathrooms, where it's just like it just-
maybe for
stops
exactly
it.
that
yeah,
exact
for
situation.
exactly that, for that reason.
It's kind of ridiculous.
I actually think the best part of Hoth is the part where I single-handedly took down two Imperial AT-ATs.
Oh right, you played the Battlefront beta. Whoop-de-doo.
I did it though.
So
I
did we.
got a double. I
Yeah,
got a double.
we're
like,
not bragging about the fact that we took down two AT-ATs.
You know when you're in the snow speeders, Taylor, and you wrap the cord around the AT-AT's legs.
Yeah.
I got both of them in one shot.
What we do?
Nailed it. I
No,
also had
Manny,
another attempt where
I wasn't
That
playing that
is
because
a
I was too
good
busy
game.
with my girlfriend.
No, you weren't.
No, you weren't. You
with
were playing
me
the-
most of the time playing.
And it
You
was
were
great.
exactly
I played
playing
it with
that.
you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And it was
No,
the
I had
best.
another
It's a
attempt
really
where
great.
It's
I had
so
another
good.
attempt, Jake, where I actually finished looping one of them, killed it.
Do you do it in
Get
under 12
over-
parsecs?
I did do it under 12
Can you-
parsecs.
Right?
Okay.
Can we not? Can we not?
But
What reference the films that we're talking about?
No, because parsecs. Right.
it's
No,
not
no,
a
no,
measurement.
here's
No,
the
it's not a
thing,
measurement
right.
of time. It's a
Here's the
measurement
thing,
of
though.
distance.
No. Right, but here's the thing, and Bruno explained this to me very eloquently.
Yeah.
It does still kind of make sense because if you the kind of the distance from a black hole,
Yeah.
like the closer you get to it, the weirder time is.
Yeah.
So like the
nerdy
distance
are
does
we gonna
matter
get?
in terms of speed.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is pushing it.
What is this like too nerdy?
Parsecs.
Oh, okay. So we've bordered onto too nerdy.
No, but
If Bruno will explain it to me, and I'll
can
come
I,
back
can I
next
quickly
week
say
on-
one more
in
thing
your
about
face.
the Battlefront beta though? Because like,
Sure you can.
I had another attempt where I tried to rope the AT-ATs, and I came off of one of them, went on to the next one, and immediately swung myself into a cliff. Because the
It's a great
hitboxes
game.
on those are dumb.
But yeah,
But
that's
yeah, no,
something
it's a
about
great
the
game.
films that I really like. The stop motion Tauntaun, the
Yeah.
stop motion
Yeah.
AT-AT.
Oh
the
my
stop motion in
God.
that Hoth scene is great.
Yeah, there's so much of it, and I love it.
Mm.
Like, you can tell it's stop motion because it's a 14 frames a second where everything else is cinematic 24, but it still looks great. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Do you know what it reminds me of when I watch those now?
What?
You remember when you go and watch those really old, like, 1950s, 1960s Jason and the Argonauts films and stuff like
that
that?
is kind of what it's like.
It's absolutely like that because it's also stop motion. Like, that's exactly what it is.
The old Harryhausen.
Yeah, but, like, you don't believe it for a second, but for some reason it's so convincing in the context of the film.
Yeah.
Like, if you saw that in the real world, you'd be like, okay, that's not real. But
The Wampa scene,
the Wampa scene,
also pretty cool.
like,
Better in the originals, obviously,
Yeah,
than
yeah.
in the remastered. What else is good in Empire Strikes Back? I'm trying to go chronologically in my head and talk myself through.
yeah,
the
I
events
can't.
that
Like,
happened.
here's the thing
So
I have with the
Luke
original
going
trilogy.
off to find Yoda.
Luke going to Dagobah.
Dagobah. Oh
whole
yeah.
thing is
So
great.
like, Empire Strikes Back is Hoth, Dagobah.
The asteroid
Bez-
where
asteroids
Han
and
Leia-
Bespin.
and
The
basically.
Sky City.
Yeah,
Sky-
Bespin.
Yeah, Bespin is the Cloud City. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you just get
Taylor's killed himself.
He's like, no, I can't do it. I didn't know something about Star Wars.
Yeah, it's Bespin. It's the same city. It's the same.
I hope we're right.
Yeah, it is because it's
Yeah.
the same city that has the platform missions in the original Battlefront games.
Yeah.
Stop with the game.
I'm sorry. They like. Here's the thing.
you ready?
Star Wars is as
Welcome
much
to Games for Thor.
Welcome to Games for
Ah!
Oh, I did the joke again.
Here's the thing. Star Wars is as much about the now abandoned extended universe stuff as it is about the actual films. There is so much Star Wars everywhere, guys.
It really is. It's amazing.
Like, I'm going to talk
so
about
in
a
your
lot
face
of Star
if
Wars
you
stuff.
don't like it.
Do you know one of the best Star Wars games? While we're on the topic of games,
We
Star
weren't on
Wars
the topic
Jedi
of games, you brought
Starfighter.
us onto the-
What?
Yeah, that was good.
Jedi Starfighter was amazing.
Is that the? Oh, I swear I played this one.
Katie's mic has gone live, so she's going to say
Uh-oh.
something. I'm really excited.
So how about Empire Strikes Back?
Yeah,
Yeah, sorry.
So we were talking about Dagobah.
Dagobah, absolutely.
Yoda's cool. in
Yeah,
this.
one of the most confusing scenes in the original trilogy when I was a kid was the scene where Luke kills himself.
Oh yeah. When he's like
Yeah.
going through
Oh,
the.
yeah.
He's going
He's
through
going
the
through that
smoke
weird
and he's actually dreaming, but it's
smoke.
not quite made clear. And then Darth Vader shows up and he cuts off Darth Vader's head, and then Luke's head falls out of the helmet while Luke is staring at his own now dismembered head. It's so
I mean,
weird.
it makes
just
sense
great.
though, logic.
Yeah, it makes sense now, but for me as a 5-year-old, that
You're
made
like,
no
what?
sense.
What? And if you've played the Lego Star Wars game, you're like, what? What's going on? What is this?
Yeah, exactly.
Even before that, the bit where Yoda is introduced and he's
And he
just the
pretends
most
he's-
irritating thing.
And
You're
he
Oh
like,
my
pretends
God,
he's
what-
not
here's the
Yoda.
what is
thing.
this? What are you?
He is how a comedy character is supposed to be done, because that's what he was
It's
in the
subtle
original
as well,
trilogy. He's
like-
he's a comedy character.
But it just every time I like watch it and he's pretending not to be Yoda.
Yeah.
It just reminds me of the Family Guy. Are you Master Yoda?
No, I am
No,
not
I'm
Master
not
Yoda.
Master Yoda. Yes,
Yeah,
I'm Master
Master
Yoda. It's just really funny. Will you teach me the ways of the Force? No, I will not teach you the ways of the Force. Okay, I'll teach you the ways of the Force. It's
Yeah.
just a really. If anyone hasn't seen the Family Guy,
Blue Harvest,
Blue
man.
Harvest,
Watch
something
all
something
three
Dark
of them. They're
Side,
pretty good.
and it's a trap. They're all great.
It's so good.
Something dark side. Something the Force. Oh no, it's like complete, isn't it? Ah, whatever.
we need to talk about Lando wearing Han's clothes as well.
Yeah, what's
Yeah.
up with that? So we'll skip to the end for a moment.
Yeah,
but like,
why not?
Like
Like
we're
we
on a
pay
Bespin
any
now
attention
anyway.
to timelines. Come on.
yeah, no, it's fine. What?
Forget the asteroid field, because a lot of what happens in the asteroid field
Nah.
is weird at times.
Yeah, it's just them trying to fix the
Yeah.
Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
It's not much.
In a giant
a hole.
worm.
In a giant, yeah, they're
Spoilers.
just in a.
Yeah.
Spoilers, give over.
There's bats in a worm in an asteroid. It's
It's
like
really-
a turducken in space.
A turducken.
Yeah.
A turkey.
Yeah.
That's
It's
How
a
I
bird
Met
and a
Your
bird
Mother-
and a bird in space. That's what it is.
That's a How I Met Your Mother reference. The turkey. It's a small turkey inside of a bigger turkey. It's apparently not very tasty.
Right, but yeah. So, Bespin, what happens on Bespin, Jake?
So
Everything.
Han Solo gets all frozen into carbonite.
Gay
Spoiler
does,
alert.
and has one of like the coolest lines in the.
No, don't.
No, sorry.
No, because
Not
we're
allowed to
talking
talk
about it
it.
later.
Or do the Family Guy one.
You don't do it.
Wait, what?
That's a great moment in the Family Guy version of this, but it's not safe for work. So you know the whole. I'll just say it. We were talking about the moment where Princess Leia's like, Han, I love you, and then
I know.
and then yeah, Han Solo's like, I know, and it's a great moment in the Family Guy version. It's very not safe for work and hilarious.
Yeah.
though. It's like, Han, I love you, and then.
Yeah, and it's
then,
just funny.
Yeah, just watch it. It's great. You can find it on YouTube.
Han's just, I love that bit. He's like, I love you. And Han's just like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, he's like, I'm too
It's-
cool for that.
But it's like as well as it being funny and just like a cool moment, it's like perfectly representative of both those characters
Yeah,
and
yeah.
their relationship with each other.
Yeah, it's really cool. I like it.
He might as well put on some shades.
And also, it's interesting because like
Just lights a cigar.
like,
just
Han-
like, yeah, maybe I know.
Han
Just
spends
got
the
a glass
entire
of scotch in hand.
Jacob, do you mind? Me and Connor trying to talk.
okay, Han spends the entire time like courting Leia, and she's not interested.
Yeah.
And then suddenly at the end, it's like reversed.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're delving into something we'll be talking about later. I don't want to blow my load now.
I imagine had he been old enough that Han Solo might have been played by the kid who plays Mouth from the Goonies.
Who is that? Corey Feldman?
That's Corey Feldman.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
he's
Corey
weird
Feldman.
now,
Why was-
isn't he?
Oh.
He's weird now
No,
with his.
he's still just Corey Feldman.
No, he's
He
weird.
has that weird hair thing.
He does like weird horror films now that no one watches.
Yeah.
He's weird.
You- He has like he has like a music career and stuff.
Does he?
Yeah.
Apparently.
He's really.
The
probably
point is, he
listens to
still
this.
looks like Corey Feldman.
I mean, barely.
Anyway,
So the funny thing that I always point out, and again it's pointed out in the Star Wars Family Guy thing, is that when Han Solo gets frozen into carbonite, like Lando and Chewie fly off in the Millennium Falcon, Lando's just wearing Han's clothes.
yeah.
What's
is,
up with that?
Like, doesn't he live there? Surely he could have got changed into anything else he owns.
Yeah, it's just
It's
it
literally
makes me uncomfortable.
Who thought that was a good idea?
Like,
Guys,
and I
we're
don't-
gonna
I
put
can't-
up a poll on Facebook later. Who wore it better, right? Han Solo or Lando Calrissian? Because like
Okay.
these are literally the same outfits.
or
The only
Owen
difference
from Jurassic
is
World,
what?
or Owen from Jurassic.
Yeah.
World. It's the same outfit.
What I don't understand is why he's wearing the same thing, but he's gone. Do you know what? I need to button up my
Yeah,
top.
I
Yeah,
should
that's
button
what I was
this
about
up.
to mention. Like the only difference between these outfits is the collar.
Yeah.
Like,
Why?
is it possible that like it's over a longer time scale than we imagine, and,
No.
and Lando's had to go and get
No, because
changed?
it happens immediately.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
they
I
fix
know,
his
right? It's
hand
dumb.
just there. Just I don't know. it's
Anyway,
just
let's
weird.
move back a bit.
Yeah.
We were talking about Dagobah.
We were talking about Dagobah.
Yoda's pretty cool.
He
Yeah,
is. He's
right?
amazing. He's
He's
Yoda.
a cool
It's
character.
alright, thug. Let's be honest.
Man, it feels good to be a character. He's
He's
just
such a mysterious and kind of just hilarious character in those
Yeah,
films.
he's the
yeah,
best.
and kind of a douche.
Yeah,
Like
well,
that's what I like about him. He's a bit out of left field.
you saying you like Yoda, Jake?
I
Everyone remember that.
that's gonna come into play in a little while. Connor, what are you looking at?
Apparently, Facebook's introducing a new feature that allows you to specifically single out and delete all of your friends who support Donald Trump.
This isn't a politics show.
Politics for...
I-
I'll stop. I'm sorry. I'll get back on topic. It just caught my eye was all.
Okay.
We need to talk about the lack of Boba Fett.
Yeah, so we were talking about. Do you want to talk about it now or during?
How
We'll
he's-
talk about it at the beginning of episode 6.
No,
when
I
we-
wanna
when
talk
we-
about it
No,
now.
no. Well, look, let's just talk about him in Empire Strikes Back. In Empire Strikes Back, he's a really cool character, right?
Yeah,
he's
mysterious.
pursuing. He's mysterious. He's like cool. He's dark. He's pursuing Han Solo.
but barely present.
He's not. He's not around a lot. But when he shows up on Bespin, and he's like, I hope you make sure that Make sure that Han survives
about
this
how
because I
weirdly he
need
walks
to. I
in-
need
Yeah,
to
I
give
need
him
sell
to.
let's be honest.
Yeah, I need to sell him to
when
Jabba the Hutt.
you know when Boba Fett is like he first walks into the room on Bespin, he walks into the room really weirdly. I don't know what it is about his stride when he walks in, but it looks really odd.
He's got that swagger, doesn't he?
Yeah, but it's not.
'Cause
Like,
his
it's just like
jetpack's
he's got
heavy.
really overly exaggerated solid. It's like he's trying to be sexy Boba Fett. It just doesn't work.
Come on.
It works.
Mm.
He is one sexy
Get that Mandalorian
clone.
love.
He is one sexy clone. Because he
Yeah.
is a clone.
Yeah, he is a
This was
clone.
something that
Yes.
people complained about. People complained about the fact that George Lucas put the guy. I don't know his name. The Australian guy, the New Zealand guy who played Jango Fett, who is the guy that all the clones were based on.
And a much more effective bounty hunter.
Yeah, far more effective. But what was I saying?
Oh.
George
Yeah,
Lucas.
so they put George Lucas put his voice in one of the remastered ones in the 2011 Blu-ray
Yeah.
over Boba Fett, which makes sense because
Yeah, they're
Boba Fett
clones.
is actually a clone of Jango Fett.
Yeah.
So he has the same genetic makeup.
I'm not mad at that change.
like
It's
that
just like,
doesn't bother me, but people get annoyed like, oh, that doesn't make any sense. It's like, well, it actually
Yeah, they're
it makes
pu-
way
he's
more
a pure
sense.
clone.
but here's one of those things. It's like, yeah, he was right to make that change. The same way he was right to make the change of the Emperor's face when he's a giant hologram in a new. Do you remember what that hologram
Yeah,
looked
it
like
looks
before
yeah.
the remastered version?
That
But,
makes
like,
sense.
It's literally someone with clay eyes slapped on their regular eyes.
It's
Mm.
funny though.
It
It's
is
so
funny.
dumb.
Can we just get that photo up and just
Yeah, one
enjoy that
second.
for a bit?
It's really cool. But yeah. So what I'm saying is I don't mind some of the changes from the re-releases, but overall, like, why mess with something? It was already like a classic. People loved it regardless. Yeah, you're right. It does look a bit daft.
What is that? What is that?
It's
I'm putting that on
uncomfortable
the
to
I'm
look
putting that on the Twitter now, guys. If you want to see the image that we're on about with Emperor Palpatine and his weird bug eyes, take a look at FFT_podcast.
To be fair, one
On
of the
Twitter.
worst things they did for the remaster version. You remember the Mos Eisley Spaceport? When they first show up and
Yeah.
like, all the CGI towns,
Oh yeah.
and it was just like, why? Why is everything? And the CGI'd like animals and everything was stupid.
Yeah.
So stupid.
Are you alright,
Lucas.
mate? Do you want a hug?
No, I'm upset. I don't
Here's
understand
the
why
thing.
George would do
I am
that.
upset.
Here's the thing, like the remastered stuff, like it's so hit and miss for whether the changes are good or not. Like, no, R2D2 does not need to be behind an entire wall of rocks, but yes, they did
That
need
was
to do
dumb.
something about
So
the
yeah, they
Emperor's
put an
eyes.
extra rock in front of.
No,
No,
and actually,
yeah.
like 4 rocks.
No. It was just one rock,
Just
but it was
one?
a big rock.
It was huge.
They put like an
Why?
extra rock in front of R2D2. For God knows why.
Reasons.
Because reasons. So we got 10 minutes left until our break. Do you want to talk about
Yep.
Revenge
Yeah, come
of
on.
the Sith?
Clam it.
Revenge of the
Jedi?
Sith, you mean Return of the Jedi, mate?
Yeah, it's one or the other.
Yeah. They're
Um,
interchangeable,
yes, okay.
basically,
Okay.
right?
This is probably my least favourite of the original trilogy.
Yeah, it's my least favourite of the originals.
Okay, but only because of the Ewoks.
Yeah, like mostly because
I don't
of the
mind.
Ewoks,
I don't mind
Ewoks,
the Ewoks
but like
at all.
But
I
they're just
hate
a
'em.
bit like, oh look, Ewoks.
You hate the Ewoks.
they're Care Bears with parenting issues.
They are. Just ridiculous. They're just tiny bears.
I
Why
really
not just
like
put
them.
real bears in? You know.
It's like
That would've been
literally like I want to get a picture which is just like a Care Bear on one side, an Ewok on the other, and it just says meth not even once underneath it. Like they're not. No, Ewoks are not good. They're not good, man.
They're
I
just
like
too cute for a Star Wars
They're
film.
not too cute. They're
They-
ugly
right.
Yoda's
and
cute.
annoying.
Yoda is not cute, right? Something like Ewok should be in like the spin-offs that are on Disney Channel.
Yes,
Like
they are in the spin-off on Disney Channel. aren't they?
exactly, right?
Yeah.
Oh, they should have had him for the prequels.
not good.
You know. Right, anyway,
Good. Yeah,
to
I
the
want to
start
talk
of
about Boba
Return of
Fett
the
though.
Jedi.
Again, I want to
Yeah,
finish off what
so
we were saying about Boba Fett.
This one opens with them retrieving Han from Jabba the Hutt.
I think this is a really good opening to a film
I think it is as well.
It's a great opening to
because
a
you got
film.
no idea what's going on. You're like, oh, the droids are
Yeah,
here.
you don't know
What's
the
going on?
plan. You don't know that
And-
they're already infiltrated.
And
you don't
if
know
you've
what's gonna
watched
happen.
if you've watched the films in the ever-growing in popularity Machete order, this is like.
What?
Have you not heard about the Machete order?
Machete Order completely eliminates.
It gets rid of the
um,
Phantom Menace
Phantom
and makes you
Menace.
watch them episodes 4, 5, 2, 3, 6.
Yeah.
And you might immediately go, why?
It's actually a really good order to watch.
But
them.
like, I'll send you a couple of videos explaining why they're great, and I'll also post links to that on the Facebook. But basically, like, at the start of this, you see Luke. He's draped in all black, and he's like going what could be considered slightly rogue from the true Jedi path, and he's hunting down this tyrant of a loan shark and criminal mastermind, and
Mhm.
then Boba Fett shows up.
So Connor has a problem because he thinks Boba Fett is really inefficient.
Inefficient is an understatement.
No,
He
he's
does
really
nothing
wasted.
in number 6 except get his arm cut off and get thrown in a Sarlacc pit.
He is
no.
the Darth
He,
Maul.
he also crashes
episode
into.
6.
Yeah, he is kind of like Darth Maul in a sense.
He's so crap in the original trailer. I don't get why people love him so much. Guys.
Yeah, there is a lot of love for him, but it's probably because of the mystery in the first.
I was going to say the
couple.
canon.
And yeah, the
Yeah.
extended universe, which is now not canon, but
Yeah.
he's pivotal in a lot of those stories and actually really quite developed.
Yeah,
with
no,
them.
in those. But,
But
they're
that
no
the
longer-
opening scene is great.
Yeah, no,
with the
it's
Sarlacc
fantastic.
pit and all that. It's awesome.
And then the big thing in the cage that he has to fight that I always forget about.
Oh yeah.
It's like there's not only one giant monster that he has to deal with on is it on Tatooine?
I wanted. Yeah.
I think
yeah,
I'm fairly
sure,
certain it's
sure,
Tatooine because
sure.
it's where the Jabba the Hutt is, and he's
Yeah.
always on Tatooine. But like, I just had a brief moment where I was like, "Is it Tatooine?"
Yeah, there was a moment where I was like,
Yeah.
where else could it be?
But yeah, like it's thematically fantastic. Watch it in Machete order, it gets even more amazing. Like this return to the original trilogy stuff, and it's just,
Yeah. Moving on from that, let's just kind of move to the end because there's not much of the middle
Yeah.
that I really find notable.
I honestly couldn't tell you what happens in the middle. I think it's a lot of just dancing
Yeah,
around
I
with
thought it was
Ewoks,
just the
right?
start, and then Ewoks.
Yeah, that's basically it.
Oh no, hold on. The racers on episode 6. What are they called? Oh, no, Moon of Endor. What are they called?
Oh,
Speeders.
the speeders.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's that whole speeder
They're
thing.
pretty. That's a pretty
I don't
cool
know.
scene.
Here's the thing. That's my problem with episode 6.
I
It's just
haven't
so
watched
much
it
of
in
it
a
is
very long
forgettable.
time. I haven't watched it in a very long time. We were supposed to watch
I
it
wa-
before this show.
But like I said, I watched
Shame
it
on you.
recently. I watched it
Shut up.
recently, and it's just a lot of it is so forgettable. I
Oh,
think
no,
there's some
Yoda's
more
death.
space
Hold on,
stuff.
hold on. Yoda's death.
Oh yeah, of course.
Hey,
Yeah, of course.
what is
it
wrong with us?
Yeah, Yoda's
We
death.
didn't talk about Yoda's death. Oh god.
No. That's in episode 6. It's not in episode 5.
But it's a pretty big thing.
yeah,
yeah.
it goes back to Endor.
Like
No, not
his
Endor.
his Jedi
Dagobah.
master has
Dagobah.
died. He is the only Jedi left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of significant.
Yeah.
But yeah, the ending, really great.
Yeah.
The final lightsaber battle is awesome. And you know how, like, I was watching a video. I was watching a Mr. Sunday Movies video.
He's
Mr. Sunday
great.
Monday-
I love him.
Mr. Sunday Movies is great.
Did
Their
sorry, just-
podcast is
this
great.
is Star Wars related.
Okay,
Did
go
you
ahead.
hear about the fake Star Wars Episode 7 posters that got sold on Amazon with the Mr. Sunday Movies goat head character
Over Han Solo.
slapped over Han Solo?
Yeah.
Shut up.
And people
were
left, like,
complaining and,
Angry reviews all over the place, and it got messy.
yeah.
It was so good.
But yeah, so Mr. Sunday Movies is great. They've got a great podcast called The Weekly Planet that you host with Nick Mason,
Yep.
aka Wikipedia Brown on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I can't remember. It must have been an older video. What was the point I was making? What were we talking about before we derailed?
Star Wars.
Yeah. Thanks, mate. What?
Here to help.
I genuinely don't know.
Oh, great.
Yoda.
So we just
I don't
brought him up for no reason. Oh yeah, sorry. So so in episode 2, you've got that Dooku Yoda fight scene,
know.
which is dumb
Yeah.
and bad and dumb.
Stupid.
But the build up to that is also dumb because like Dooku tried to like electrocute him and Yoda deflects,
Yeah, it's so
and then they
slow
have like
paced.
banter and it takes so much time to get into the fight.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but what I would say is that what's great about the final lightsaber battle in episode 6 is that it's like, you know, you have the capacity. He says, like, Darth Vader says one line and then it's on immediately.
Oh yeah.
Straight into the fight. Like, there's no other dialogue other than that. It's great. I just think it's a really good way to like jump into it. And then, of course, Anakin's redemption. He throws the Emperor off into a pit.
I
Can we
don't
talk
like.
about how powerful the line
don't like
"Let
it.
me look on you"?
You don't
with my-"
like it?
No, I don't like it when you call him Anakin.
Oh,
It's
sorry.
weird.
Sorry, Darth Vader.
It's strange.
Redemption.
Can we talk about how good the line "Let me look on you with my own eyes" is?
Oh, it's
Oh,
like
the
heartbreaking.
creep.
No, it's heartbreaking.
What did you say?
He's called him a creep.
He's known his son like
That-
3 days. Like, he's
No,
like,
no, he's known his son's entire life.
No,
his son
no,
has
he
known
didn't.
his
He didn't know
father
he
for
had a
about
son.
what? It's supposed to be a couple months between Empire and Return, right?
No, he didn't know
Yeah.
he had a son.
No, he did.
He did?
He was entirely aware
How
of that.
would he know that Luke's son?
No. Right, there's it. Right, so end of episode 3 is like Darth Vader is just like, oh, your kid's died, and he's like, oh.
No, but-
right.
No.
Apparently, there is a deleted scene in episode 5 where it mentions that he has a son.
You're full of crap, Taylor. Let's go to a music
they know.
break.
Do you know
No.
what?
Well, I've got a
Do you
couple
know
of things
what?
to say. I've still got a couple of things that we can run over a
Google
little
it.
bit. Google it. But yeah, I love that moment where he say, "Let me look on you with my own eyes," and then
Yeah.
he gets to die.
I genuinely
Totally redeemed.
shed a tear at that.
It's
Like-
it's pretty great moment, and then
and then he blows up.
Force Ghosts.
Then they blow up the Death Star again, and then Force Ghost.
They celebrate, and then
Yeah.
Hayden Christensen shows up if you watch the remastered
Oh.
version.
Or Hayden Christensen if you don't have a lisp.
All right, let's go to a music break. Go on, do you?
Welcome back to Film for Thought on Blast Media. Once again, if you'd like to join the conversation here, you can tweet at FFT _podcast, or with hashtag FFT on Blast. Those last two songs were Happy by Pharrell Williams from the soundtrack of Despicable Me 2, and Say You, Say Me by Lionel Richie. I can't speak. Lionel Richie from the soundtrack of White Nights.
What's it time for, Connor?
It is time for Battle Royale.
I'd like to play a game with you.
I'm sorry, I need to stop talking over audio clips, don't I?
Sorry,
It's
I
getting-
jumped in a little bit too early.
No, it's fine. It's my fault.
So how does this bit of the show work, Connor?
This bit of the show, if you haven't listened already, is basically...
Can you say it like a normal person for those
sorry,
people
I don't
who
know
are
why I'm
actually
saying like
watching
this.
for the first time?
For people who are actually watching for the first time, basically what we do here is we take two questions, and we make each of our guests, well, I say guests, our co-host to the...
Team host.
Team hosts and team guests.
Man,
I
what-
can't... Look, I'm so very tired. I'm so very,
I'm
very
tired too. I'm not a train wreck though.
For this
Yeah.
part of the show, we have the guest, that is me, and the co-host or host take on someone about a bit of film. Gist of it, really?
Why couldn't I say that? Our
Yeah.
guest can say. But yeah,
Taylor,
we,
do you want to join the crew? Connor, you're a guest now. Move.
we pose.
Go on.
Do I have to?
No, go on.
We pose a question to our guest and to our host, and we have them each present an answer, and then they have to argue that answer against each other. This isn't necessarily a question of whether it is the best answer, but of the best argument.
No, right, this
You
is
said
always
that in the
unfair
weirdest way.
because you throw me against Mulgrews and you guys don't shut up. You're loud and you're
I'll
just
be
like,
respectful.
no,
No,
we
you're
don't shut
wrong.
I'll
up.
be
We
You're
don't shut up,
wrong.
but we've lost the majority of rounds so
yeah,
far.
we still lose a whole bunch.
Until I come back. You're like, well, easy win.
Yeah.
No, easy win is Mark. Mark is an easy win for Team Guests.
Oh, for Team Guest. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
not for
Mark
us.
just destroyed me.
Yeah, he did. Just
So what's the
grand
first
slams.
question, Connor? Also say round one, so Kate, you can do the thing.
Round one. Okay, so the question for round one is going to be the best moment in the Star Wars original trilogy. We're going to go to Taylor for an opening statement.
Hey, you remembered that we go to the guest first. I normally have to remind you.
We're going to go to Taylor for an opening statement.
For me, the best scene in the Star Wars trilogy has to be Darth Vader's reveal about how he is Luke's father.
Solid choice. Solid choice.
I have no argument because I've won that one.
Mate, I need an actual
No,
opening
you need
statement.
to,
though.
you need to
Okay.
defend.
So
This is how this
imagine
works.
that you're, let's say, imagine we're teenagers from the 70s and 80s.
I mean, me and you are still teenagers, so.
Okay, from the 70s and 80s.
Oh,
Oh,
God,
oh,
I'm the
no,
only
you're
one
right.
here who's not a teenager. Thanks for
you're
that
old.
great, like,
Oh.
existential crisis moment in the middle of our
Anyway,
show.
Taylor, go ahead.
I'm just going to forget what I'm saying, to be honest. Imagine you're a teenager from that time, and you're watching these films for the first time, and you watch A New Hope, and you go, oh my God, it's the best film ever, I'm going to sell my house and live in Star Wars, ah! And then, yeah, right, and then,
Sorry, sell your house and live in Star Wars.
Don't interrupt him.
Okay,
We
yeah.
said we'd be respectful.
Yeah,
and then you hear a sequel's coming out, and you're like, oh my God, how are they going to top it? Ah! And then you go, and you're like, oh my God, this is amazing, ah! And then suddenly it's like, oh my God, Darth Vader, ah! And you just end up crying in the cinema and ripping your clothes off and punching the woman next to you while you throw children around because, oh my God, Darth Vader is Luke's father. Spoilers, but it happened. Get over it, right?
Taylor, can I
That's
just...
the best opening statement we've
Taylor,
ever
No,
had
you
on
can't
this show.
interrupt me because it's what I did.
When you started going, it sounded like something out of an Eminem song.
It did. You just lose it.
That's probably what Slim Shady did when he saw it, let's be honest. Right? Because it is the best reveal. It's the best
Could I-
plot twist in film history, and I love it. So, no.
Oh, I don't
Shut
know,
up.
man. I think that The Village was actually just... In
Shut
modern
up.
day was
Shut up.
a good
All right, it's
twist.
a motorway, but we were in the 1800s. But how?
Come on, Shyamalan, get it together, guys. Right,
Can I
Jake,
go now?
Go
your
on.
opening statement, please.
So, in my opinion, you picked a pretty good moment, and unfortunately, we let the guest pick first.
Yep.
So, while you probably got the best obvious moment, you got the obvious one. I, however,
You're so
bounced back
basic.
pretty great. I think the best moment, we talked about it a little bit briefly earlier, the best moment in the original trilogy is when Han is about to be frozen into carbonite, and Leia, heartbroken, she says, Han, I love you. I know.
I know, baby, I know.
Shut up, baby,
Cigar
I
in-
know it. Shut up.
Cigar
Man,
in
feels
hand,
good to be
whiskey.
gangster.
If you look carefully, you can actually see the whiskey glass still in his hand when he's frozen.
No,
in
I think
carbonite.
so. It's the "I love you, I know,"
Yeah.
which is an amazing cinematic moment. It perfectly represents who the characters are and the relationship.
Jake,
What?
I asked for an opening statement, not my comments on the scene earlier.
Oh, the shade.
This is why I told you to shut up earlier, because you were saying the stuff that.
You carried on after I stopped talking about it. That's the
Well,
problem.
what can I? Dude, that's my opening statement. That was what it was going to
Okay.
be. Okay, it perfectly
Tay with-
represents
Tatay with a rebuttal.
what
Throw
Connor
down.
said earlier. I hate when I'm on this side of it. You always find some way to just ruin my life.
I mean, no, you do that, mate.
No, you do it. You do it because you let me have Exhibit that one time and it wasn't cast as a cameo. And shut up, Taylor. What's your rebuttal?
I just want to listen to you two.
No,
It's
shut
fun.
up. Go ahead, do it.
Okay, although I understand where you're coming from, it's from the same film, and it is
The best of the
the
film.
best of the films, and it is just it's a good thing. My only problem with it is there's Leia just turns. She's like, "Oh, by the way, I fancy you." You're like, "Where'd this come from?" Like, you were being very mean to me earlier. I remember you being so mean to me, and now you love me. Well, too late, love. I've been frozen. And she had her chance, and you know what? I'm not with it. Right?
I don't think that's a fair thing to say, because while, yeah, Leia has this kind of attitude of, oh yeah, I'm not really interested, there is blatantly feelings throughout the whole film. There is love, there is care.
There is
They
sarcasm.
go through a lot together.
Sarcasm
they
is
share,
important
they
in a
share
relationship.
they share their like kiss together. They're like, you know, they have like cheeky banter back
To
and
be
forth.
fair, though, she does also share a kiss with her brother.
Oh, don't even. I was about to say that. She snogs her brother to get back at him. Fair enough, she doesn't know.
and neither does
Right?
he.
Doesn't make it okay, does it? Right? It's still wrong. Shame on you.
Well,
right?
no, because now
Darth Vader doesn't
No.
snog Luke, does he? No.
See, because
no.
what you've done now is made it so that if I defend this anymore, I'm defending incest, which isn't even part of what we're
It's
talking
about the argument,
I'm
not about
talking
the answer.
I'm talking about Han Solo and Princess Leia and the culmination, like the emotional peak of their character development. It's a wonderful moment.
You want to go there about emotional
It's
peak?
the point of no return.
Luke loses a hand! he literally
He
tries to
loses
kill
a hand
himself.
and finds out
Yeah.
he still has a living father.
Right. He has his arm chopped off by his father, and then's like, wait a minute, you're my dad. Not only if you just took off my limb, I'm gonna kill myself, right? I don't see Han doing that. Oh, she loves me. I'm gonna kill
Yeah,
myself.
but Han takes it.
Actually,
That's
he
another
does
thing
kind
that's-
of do that.
That's another thing that's great, is that Han takes this like a boss.
Yeah, he really does.
He's like, yeah, I know you love me. I'm not going to get emotional right now because I've got to hype myself up. I'm about to get frozen in carbonite. And regardless of whether... And here's a nitpicky moment. This is unrelated to the battle. Why does he go down and he's like all handcuffed and stuff, but suddenly when he's frozen in carbonite, he's got his hands thrown up in the air? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
You know why? Because the scene's not very good.
Ooh.
Oh, that was shady.
Scathing.
That was shady.
Shady.
Why are the lights on if there's all this shade? What's going on?
That would be the perfect reason to have the lights on.
Do you know what? Darth Vader wins.
You guys just... Can we get like another...
You want another statement?
I want another statement from you guys. I want a closing statement from each of you.
I think what makes Star Wars brilliant is the relationships, all the relationships. So yes, Luke and Vader's relationship, you know, the relationship between Han and Chewie, the relationships are what make it, and one of the best parts, one of the best moments that truly captures a relationship in its very raw form is that.
You didn't want
Because
your
it tells
life
you so
story,
much about the
mate. Bloody hell.
characters. At the heart of Star Wars, even if there is a love story there,
Yeah.
and I think it's one of its strongest points. Therefore, the strongest moment in that love story would therefore be the best moment. That's all I
Taylor,
have to say about
your
that.
closing statement, please, mate.
On the internet, there are thousands of videos of reactions to the plot twist that Darth Vader is Luke's father. Not once on the internet have I seen a video that's like, oh my god, she loves him. Oh my god. Right?
You from
For
Essex
obvious
now.
reasons. Yeah.
That's sure. Oh my god.
Oh my god, Han loves Leia. Oh my god. Like, obviously, right? So, let's be honest. It's a pretty clear winner. Come on.
And that's the end of round one.
Can we make the buzzer slightly less loud?
It's really angry.
Yeah,
it's
that
really
should be-
aggressive.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay, so you guys are just...
that was tough.
Jake?
Yeah?
Answer quicker next time. Like, you need to get your answer together before he does, so that you can get the actual best moment in the series.
No, hold on. It's about, first of all, it's about the argument, and
Yep.
second of all, the rule is we're gracious and we give the guest first run at the questions.
True. True.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
So I had no choice, and I stand by it. That's not me backpedaling. I stand by my moment as one of the best moments in the series.
Okay.
Okay, well, to do the round 2 thing.
Round 2. Okay, so for this round, we're going to go to Jake first, because
Yes.
this is how this works. Do it. We're going to go for the best character in the original trilogy. And before we go to that,
It's Django Fett.
I'd just
Sorry.
like to... Yeah, in the original trilogy.
Yeah,
Good job.
Django
You can't even make the joke right.
I mean, that was the joke.
I thought the joke was that
No,
Boba
that
Fett was
was
crap.
the joke.
Oh
Okay, my bad,
God,
sorry.
You're like an old
The
married
point
couple.
is that Jake, you have listed the original trilogy as the sequels in these notes, and that offends me deeply.
Yeah,
That offends me
yeah.
at my core.
No, I know. I realised as I was typing them out. I'm sorry.
Katie looks angry. I don't know whether that's
I'm
something
sorry.
I've done or
I
you.
messed up. Go ahead.
Right, okay, so we're going to go to Jake first. Best character in the original trilogy.
Okay. So I'm going to give you the answer to the question I'm not only going to give you the answer to the question who is the best character in the original trilogy, I'm also going to answer to you who is the best, most iconic cinematic villain of all time. It's Darth Vader. Let's be real. There is not a single more menacing... like, to have...
How about
basically...
the crazy religious dude from Hunchback of Notre Dame?
No. To have what is essentially a armored asthmatic be one of the most terrifying villains in all of cinematic history, I think is a testament to the voice performance of James Earl Jones. The writing of that character is amazing. The motivations, all of the relationships he develops. He is powerful. It seems unbeatable. And that's exactly what makes Star Wars amazing. It's a real, like, I know I've been saying a lot about like the relationships also being at the core, but also at the core of this film is a genuine good versus bad, light versus dark debate. It's the light side of the Force and the dark side of the Force, and Darth Vader exemplifies everything that is dark in this universe. And that's my opening statement. Taylor, to you.
See, that's a perfect opening statement because, Taylor, I believe you've picked a character that is from the good side of this good versus bad struggle.
You would be wrong. I've also chosen Darth Vader.
Now, tell me your answer, please, and your opening statement.
I have chosen, on the good side, on the light side of the Force, Yoda.
Yes.
Mainly because I like saying his name. Yoda.
Okay, that's your opening statement, Taylor. Thank you for that.
No, go on, mate.
Right, with Yoda is the first time he's ever revealed, he's just this little pain in the bottom, this little green menace. You know,
It's very PG
Yeah.
of you, thank you.
you know, and you're just like, who is this? What are you doing? Can you just show me where Yoda is? He's like, no, maybe. And then, oh, wait a minute, you are Yoda. Plot twist. So many plot twists in episode 5. Come on, let's be honest. It's just a
I'll
matter.
give you that. It is
film
basically just plot twist on plot
The
twist.
film is a plot twist.
Yeah.
And as you get to know him, he's this wise, he's this all-knowing, he's this old, wisdomous being that knows everything. He's mysterious, he's powerful.
Who really likes piggybacks.
Yeah, well, he's old.
He was
come
in
on.
a backpack, he wasn't piggybacking.
My apologies.
I mean,
Can we also appreciate the fact that Taylor just made up the word wisdomist?
no.
You heard it here
Yoda
first,
did.
people. If it ends up in the dictionary, Taylor, you have invented a word.
Do or do not. There is no try.
Is that your? That's not a bad Yoda impression.
Oh, thanks, guys.
It's not good. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's not.
It's all right. It's all right. But the full quote is actually, try not, do or do not.
Yeah,
there is no try.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I wasn't doing the full quote.
Try
so
not.
Well,
Do
try
or
doing the
do
full
not.
quote.
try being less of a.
Try not.
Actually,
do
try not.
or do not.
Do the full quote.
There is no try.
There is no try.
Why?
Sorry, that was Kermit the Frog.
Yeah, that was
Kermit the Frog.
I just had to do my Kermit the Frog impression.
That was it.
Why
That was my opening
are there
statement.
so
Like,
many
Okay.
songs?
If you want to move on.
about
Okay, Jake,
rainbows?
a rebuttal. Stop
Dude,
singing Kermit.
I'm like my head's on the Rainbow Connection.
We'll have a Muppet week
I
sometime
got
for you,
those
buddy.
happy feet. I love the Muppets.
We'll have a Muppet week sometime because there's like 12
we
of
got
those
2
films.
Muppets on here now.
Hey, comedy.
It's me, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not gonna say it about himself, is he?
Katie, right? You was a man.
Poor Katie sits there quietly. She does her job every week, and you just harass her when you come on.
I love
You
Katie.
really do. Right, okay, Jake, your rebuttal, please.
My rebuttal. I appreciate that Yoda is a good character. Like, that, if I was to say a bad word about Yoda,
I'd
I'd
slap
be
you.
vilified on the internet, which is
Yeah.
why I'm just going to focus on why
That's
I
a
think Darth
word.
Vader is better. I'm not saying that Yoda is bad. I'm saying Darth Vader is better. Which also nullifies the fact that I said I liked Yoda earlier, so you can't use that against me.
You still said it though.
You
well,
did still
y-
say it.
you know.
Don't do this again. You're gonna
You didn't say
straighten out
Darth Vader was
Compton
great,
yourself,
you just
Jake.
You just said Yoda was
So
great.
don't you even.
Taylor, can you let him make a statement, mate?
No, 'cause
I think the more pivotal role is Darth Vader. Obviously, the more developed role is Darth Vader. Obviously, the more interesting point for side characters are an extension of the primary character, your protagonist. That's what they serve to be. So, as an extension of Luke, Yoda isn't much other than maybe like an aspiration, but Darth Vader is a driving force. Darth Vader is what motivates.
He's the antagonist.
He is the antagonist. Like, that's the thing. It's protagonist, antagonist. Like, he's literally the yang to his yin.
Yin.
I said
There's
yin.
no G.
I said yin.
You said yin.
I said yin.
Okay.
Do you want to start a mini battle royale where we debate whether or not I said yin?
Can we get a buzzer?
No.
No.
Okay. Anyway, Darth Vader represents more of our protagonist Luke than Yoda does. Yeah, Yoda is this aspirational goal. It's kind of themed to be, okay, one day maybe I could be as powerful as Yoda, but in the end, it all comes down to Darth Vader, and he's one of the coolest. Everyone quotes Darth Vader. Yeah, we quote Yoda, but that's because we're nerds and we know all the quotes from Yoda.
True.
But the iconic quotes come from Darth Vader. Anyway, I'll let Taylor do. I'll take that as my closing statement because we don't have a lot of time.
Yeah, okay.
Taylor.
Rebuttal, closing statement, all in one.
You said so yourself, right? You both corrected me on my quote of Yoda, which proves, right?
But what did I just say? I just said we're nerds.
Boy, let me keep
Oh,
going,
sorry.
Right? So rude. Right? Which proves that you obviously know more about Yoda and you find him more
To
interesting.
be fair, Jake, you did
you
also
did.
misquote Vader earlier in the episode, if you
Oh,
recall.
by one word.
Okay, but
It's still a misquote.
right? You misquoted Vader, your chosen character, but yet you corrected me on Yoda. Isn't that strange, Jake? Isn't that strange?
Taylor, I'm going to need you to talk about the character
Yeah,
rather
yeah, I
than the
was
fan
gonna say, let's
perception of
not-
it, please.
I can't help it,
Actual-
right?
An
So
actual
I will-
rebuttal, please.
The thing with Yoda is, you're just introduced to this brilliant character who you're just supposed to believe is just this almighty character who's just this all-powerful being with all this knowledge, and you trust him and you believe him, and he trains Luke, and you're like, you don't even care. He trains him. You go, yeah, all right, I believe you because you're old.
You're looping on yourself
Yeah, I
quite
was
a
gonna
bit
say,
there, mate.
what's your point?
You're not
I
making
like
a point here.
Yoda. I don't have a point. I
Okay,
just like Yoda.
I think that I'm probably going to have to call it there for that round.
Okay.
So, I
Have you got a tiebreaker?
do have a tiebreaker. I do have a tiebreaker.
I always lose these.
And unfortunately, it's not like the tiebreaker you would assume I'd go for. I'm not going for a Star Wars film with this tiebreaker.
Okay.
Because, Jake, you lost round one.
Why don't you
for the-
just say Taylor won, then we can do the cheers.
Yeah,
sound
sorry,
effect like we
Taylor, you-
always do on
I
this
like
show.
hearing you
Round
lose.
one, Taylor. You won.
Yay!
You
I
won.
got very loud
You
there
won
for a
round
second.
one, Tay.
There you
There
go.
we go.
The show just fell apart.
It did
What
for a
happened?
second there. It did for a second there. We got it. We got it. We got it.
I thought he was moving on.
Now go on to.
Okay, and Jake, you won round two
Yay.
because, quite frankly, Tay, you made the better choice with. Oh my God, I'm blanking.
Darth Vader.
Yeah, you made the better choice with Darth Vader. And Jake, you made.
The better choice with Darth Vader.
Sorry, no, Jake, you made the better choice with Darth Vader. Tay, you made the better choice with the "I am your father" reveal. Like,
Great.
these are,
And the argument also.
and the
led
arguments
that way.
also worked
Yeah,
out
I
that
just
way as
I
well.
blanked.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair. No worries.
You
it was-
sort
it
of
was
derped
good.
a bit at the end.
Shake
We're not
me-
going to blame you.
Shake me by the hand.
You both did well defending the points that you won.
Why are you
You
so
also both
sweaty?
did equally
I
bad
get very sweaty when we're on
defending the
show.
points that you lost. So, okay.
So what's the tiebreaker?
The tiebreaker is I would like you to tell me, because we basically take a film and we have the combatants, the contestants.
Combatants. Go on.
My,
The
mouth
combatants.
But yeah, we have them select a year that they think this film was released in. And this week's film, since it's pretty much impossible to do a Star Wars one that none of us here know, we're going to go with a different George Lucas film.
Star Trek.
Oh my God, no, we're not. Why did I say that?
Yeah, it's
No.
not a George Lucas film. It's a Jim Henson film.
Do you know what I'm going to say?
If you think Labyrinth, if you're.
I wasn't going to go with Labyrinth.
Oh, okay. Go ahead then.
No, it's a Steven Spielberg film, which is a Lucasfilms property.
Okay.
It's E.T.
E.T.
And I'm going to go to Jake first for an answer, since Taylor sounds like he's actually genuinely hurt himself by thinking about this.
E.T. Oh no, this is gonna be so bad. I'm normally so good at this. E.T. came out in 1979.
1979. And Taylor?
It's wrong. I'm wrong.
Oh, E.T. E.T.
Have you got your phone up? Okay, what was the? Show me that phone again.
I want to say 1980. I honestly because
1980.
I can't do a rough estimate.
So you're just gonna one up me and hope that it's a. Show me
So
that
basically,
phone now.
if it's in the 70s or
Give me the
before,
phone.
it's Jake. If it's in the 80s or later, it's Taylor. I can then tell you that, thanks a lot, Jake, we've lost a round again. It's 1982. Extra.
No, I didn't see it in time.
80. Are you kidding me? Hold up a second. No, I revoke this victory. Taylor cheated. We have video evidence here. For the first time, we have an actual cheater on the Film for Thought podcast Battle Royale. I don't want to disqualify him because
What?
no. Listen. I disqualify the tiebreaker. Okay?
Right.
There will be a new tiebreaker.
Okay. Put your phone away, you horrible person.
Taylor, I
We've
want you
not
to
got
phone.
that much of the show.
I want you to pass your phone to Katie real quick, Tay.
All right.
Thank you.
We're gonna confiscate it from
Yeah, we
people
are.
in future. Quickly.
We're gonna go to Labyrinth because we kind of have to. 'cause I don't have a backup. I never had
89.
a
89, I think is what it is.
88.
88. Okay.
You really hate coming up with an
he
original
just-
answer, don't you? Okay, so I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to re-Google this now because I don't know this off the top of my head.
Do you have a computer in front of you?
Yeah, I know, but that will also show you the answer if I put it
Oh,
up
yeah.
there.
But we've already told you.
Well, yeah, you told me now, but I didn't have it up into. Shut up. Let me do my thing, all right?
There-
So we have.
You can tell we're getting to the end of this
Yeah, because
series because we're just.
yeah, this is the last episode of this year. So
No.
sorry, no,
it's not.
second one. Jake, your answer was 88. Tay,
Yeah,
yours was
no, mine was 89.
yours was 89. Tay still won.
Was it 87?
It was 86.
Right, so Taylor wins even though he's a dirty cheater and he will always be known as the Film for Thought jester. He's a filthy
And how
cheater.
appropriately we end out this episode by me kicking the release on my chair again and ending up on the floor.
So I have a couple of things to say.
Yeah.
Taylor, well done on your victory, you horrible person.
Cheating, man. Liar.
Thanks for having me on, lads.
You're never coming back on the show again.
No, this is it.
Um,
That's your run done.
Next week we talk. Unfortunately, we like to come off as a professional show, but sometimes we
Yeah.
have like last minute changes and we're a little bit scattered brains. Sometimes we said that
We're
next
also
week,
students.
we
guys.
said that next week would be a Force Awakens special, but we decided that it would. People are probably not going to have seen it by then.
Nope.
Obviously.
It would be unfair
We're
to
seeing it,
expect.
so it would be unfair to do a show on it, and
That doesn't mean we're not going to review it, though.
We're going to do a review of it, but next week's show will be our Christmas special.
Yep.
It will be the last episode of this series of the Film for Thought podcast.
Exactly. It's episode 10.
We're revamping in January,
Mhm.
and this Friday will be a live all battle royale with an audience and the contestants. Connor, who are the contestants?
The contestants next week are team hosts will be yourself, Jake Mulgrew,
So I'm on as team hosts.
versus team hosts with me.
Connor, are we gonna battle?
We're going to duke it out.
Did you think
Bring
that
your
was-
boxing gloves. It's going to be fisticuffs.
I have.
You do have boxing. Don't bring those. They hurt.
Do you think that was cooler when you said it in your heads?
Yeah,
You're like,
I-
we're going to be
I
fighting
thought
each
that was-
other.
I thought that was cool. Yeah, I thought that was cooler when I said it.
It did sound cool.
So thanks for joining us on the show. Be sure to tune in next week for
Absolutely do.
that. Catch it on YouTube. Catch this episode on YouTube tomorrow if you missed the beginning or anything, or if you
6
just
p.m.
like
it
our
should be up
voices.
by.
I'm not making any promises. So
Yeah,
Connor,
yeah.
Connor, what are we playing out?
We
to?
are playing you out tonight to Take My Breath Away by Berlin from the soundtrack of Top Gun.
Thanks for listening, guys.
See you later. Hey, if you liked if you liked this week's podcast, click here for last week's podcast. Or maybe, I don't know, like subscribe. Subscribing would be nice. We done?